I would say my bigger picture vision board is whatever it is, I want to ensure that I personally have a hand. So what that means is like I want to be the lead actor in something, but I also want to be able to create it.
I thought I had more time.
If I ever get to be in Diego Luna's position, I would love to do that. Like I want to be the lead actor of the show, and I also want to have a hand in creating it.
It's just temporary, right? I can get it back.
I don't really think about awards. I don't think about agencies. I don't think about any of that stuff, honestly.
Right.
I don't never think about any of those things.
Interesting.
What's up, guys? We are back. We are back with another episode of Breakthrough. We've got Mr. Praneet Akilla in the house today.
Hello.
Like, probably one of the hardest guests I've had to ever
I know. I'm so
get
sorry.
on the podcast.
I've been meaning to do
He's been
this.
so busy, but we got him. He actually didn't you come like from the airport, you said?
Yeah.
Straight
I just
from-
landed. I was visiting my 1-year-old nephew,
Yeah.
getting some quality time
That's
in,
amazing.
and
Wow.
I was in Ohio of all places.
Ohio, yeah.
That's where I've got some
Not
family.
a very super visited place, but you know.
No, and it's just given the political climate of things at the moment, it's a very charged
Right.
place, politically speaking,
Right.
at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
And so yeah, I'm a little jet lagged right now.
Right, yeah, I mean,
So-
no, thanks
But I'm
for,
happy to be here. That was good.
Thanks for gracing us with your presence, bro.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. So yeah. Okay, let's get
do
it.
it.
Let's do it. Let's get into
Let's
this.
do it, man. Yeah.
So I mean, I always like start the podcast with it's always the same question. Like how did you got started? So why don't you walk us through? I guess I know you and I we both studied engineering in Montreal.
Yeah, that's the thing. So
So-
how we met actually
yeah.
was through we both met in Vancouver. It was Chris and Cara who are wonderful casting directors, local casting directors.
Chris is actually coming soon.
Chris is coming. Oh, tell him I
Yes.
said hi. Chris was
He's amazing. He's
yeah,
coming
Chris
soon.
Waz is great. He's incredible.
Yeah.
Cara I actually haven't met in person, I don't think yet.
Yeah,
but,
I did shoot the invitation to both. I've never seen Cara either.
Yeah.
I don't even know what she looks
Yeah.
like.
I only see her headshot. But
Okay.
yeah.
I've never seen her.
Yeah,
So
but we
hopefully-
met at a Chris hosted a workshop for us
Back in 2019,
Back
bro.
in 2019,
That's
a parallel universe ago. It feels
6 years
like
ago.
it's crazy because
insane.
anything pre-pandemic now feels like an entire universe ago. It
Literally.
doesn't make any
It
sense.
doesn't even feel like it's in the same time.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's real life at all. But yeah,
Yeah.
we met there and instantly hit it off. I think it was sort of nerve-wracking. I was sort of new to the city too because I'd moved
Right.
here in
I feel like both as people of colors. I think we really connected on that.
exactly.
I was like,
And
oh.
you also are a Montrealer.
Yeah.
As well, because
Yeah.
I went to McGill University.
Yeah.
I studied chemical engineering.
Right. Which is crazy because
Yeah, I did a double major. I did chemical and
Right.
environmental engineering, and then
Right.
so I did that, and then
So what were you thinking at the time, going into chemical? So what was the plan? What was going through your head?
the plan. I mean, the thing with me is I always wanted to be what I'm doing right now with my life, which is
Right.
I was
okay.
always into the performing arts. As a kid growing up,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really into video games much. I really wasn't into I played outside, and then I would just watch behind the scenes videos.
Yeah.
Whether it was Indiana Jones or the animated Aladdin movie or
Yeah.
Jurassic Park. I would just watch
Right.
video cassettes
Right. The
or DVD extras.
VHS. Yeah.
or VHS or DVD extras.
Oh, bro.
I would just watch
Blu-rays.
those Blu-rays. I would just watch but I wouldn't even watch the movies. Yes, I'd watch the movies,
Right.
but I would watch the behind the scenes videos because I was obsessed with the craft of how
Camera
they
work and all that.
camera
stuff.
work, how they made things out of thin air.
Right, right.
Sort of the tactile nature of filmmaking and
Because a lot of people just watch it on in the movie theater, but they don't know how much work went into that.
yeah,
And they don't know how the specific sequence was filmed.
Yeah.
It's always interesting when you actually look at it oh, that's
Yeah.
how they did this.
But I think therein lies the, people ask how did you know that you wanted to do this? I think that's it. I think there's people in life
Yeah.
that just watch things and then move on with their life.
Right.
And then there's people like us
Yeah.
who get obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's the telltale sign that, that
Yeah.
we actually love the arts, and it doesn't have to be necessarily in front of the camera or on stage. You know, I also just love the directing of it all, the producing of it all as well. So I think for me, I always knew since I was like 5, watching The Lion King, right? Like I would act out Simba's scenes.
Really?
And my mom would have to be like, all right, enough. Like we got to go to dinner now or whatever, like, or do your homework, you know?
Right.
And even some of my early childhood memories, like,
Yeah.
you know, it's funny, like I'll talk to my grandparents.
Yeah.
I'll talk to my, you know, even my dad and my mom and stuff. And the one common denominator between all of them and my extended families, whenever they would come visit, I would always just be performing something. Like I would just be playing some character, right?
For them or like just for yourself?
Just for myself, for them. Like I just wouldn't,
Right.
I wouldn't just be sitting still. Like I would always put on an act
Right.
of some kind. And I don't know where that energy comes from. I guess it's like the theater kid energy that people, you know.
Yeah, it's that inner child in you that, you know, that they've never, you know, that always wanted this, and then, you know, it's sort of never really gone.
But I don't know how it like sort of manifested. But like, so when I mean, sorry, get back to your question about chemical engineering. Like you know, I was born in Mumbai, in India. I was born in Mumbai, and then I moved to Kuwait, to the Middle East.
That's actually where my brother is born.
Oh, okay.
In Kuwait.
Kuwait, yeah.
Yeah.
Because my dad got a job in Kuwait, and so our family moved there when I was like 3 years old. I lived there till I was 8.
So did you speak Arabic?
I used to.
Wow.
But I grew up. I went to an
crazy.
English medium school there. But
Right.
but I used to speak Arabic, not like fluently.
Right.
But you know, I had a lot of Arab friends. You know,
Got by, yeah.
But like I just didn't. You know, you lose if you don't practice it enough. You sort of lose the.
Yeah, because like I mean, Arabic has nothing to do with Indian. Like it's not like the same language at all.
0%. But there were so many South Asian people, Indians, Pakistanis, Bangladeshis in Kuwait because all these brown people were working in the oil and gas industry at the time over there.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so, you know, so I grew up in Kuwait, and then when I moved from Kuwait to Calgary is where I actually ended up.
Right.
Most of my formative years were in Calgary.
So when did you move to Calgary?
I moved to Calgary in 2000. So literally at the turn of the millennium.
I literally moved to Montreal at the same time, bro. I swear to God, I moved to Quebec, Montreal in 2000. Same thing.
It's crazy. Life. It's so weird. It's wild.
Wow.
Yeah. But like, you know.
And we both studied engineering. And then
but why did you study engineering? I think it's the same answer as me.
Probably. I mean, I just felt like I just wanted a safety net.
Yeah. Exactly.
I just wanted a safety net, right? Like I just didn't know, like I was like, hey, like I'll do this and then I'll take some risks. Because if I take some risk and I have nothing to fall back on, I'll just feel bad. I'll feel bad about this. My like I'll never hear the end of it from my parents.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I'll just like get. Also, like I'll see how I feel after it too. Like I mean, like you said, like you hate something, but then sometimes you do it and you're like, oh, you know what? Maybe this is.
But you know what's funny though is like people, you know, the cliche story that people have, at least other brown people have, is like, oh, I argued with my parents. My parents wouldn't let me. They said you absolutely cannot do that. I won't send you to drama school. You're gonna do engineering. You're gonna be a doctor. You're gonna be an engineer. You're gonna be a lawyer.
That's what they call us, yeah.
But like that's like the cliched story.
Right.
In my case, I actually self-eliminated. Like I didn't even argue with my parents. Like I was like,
admit defeat.
Well, I exactly. Well, I asked them because I knew, you know, the thing is, that's the thing with immigrant parents, and I'm not going to speak for all immigrant parents. I'll speak for my immigrant parents, which is, you know, they crave security and stability. They're worried about you. You're their child. Yeah. They want the safety net. They want you to be financially healthy.
Yeah. Because in their world, like that's what it is. If you're not a doctor, engineer, or lawyer, like you're nothing.
You're nothing.
Like
you're nothing. But I also thought that. At the time, because as much as I grew up doing, because I loved the performing arts, so I was always obsessed with it, as I was just mentioning, and so I did theater in junior high and high school. Like my best friends were all theater kids. Yeah. I was in the drama department. I was in the musical theater classes. Yeah. But even in that time, even during that, as much as I was like playing, meaningful roles, even in school, like I was getting leads and things like that, even in those circumstances, like I never fully let my brain and my heart get to the point where I thought this could actually be a career ever. Right. You thought it was like a hobby. It was gonna. Yeah. But you know, I don't know about you and your friends in Montreal, but like some of my friends that were in that circle, they went to film school. They went to drama school. Right. Right. And so I was like, oh, okay, I guess they're actually gonna do this with their life. Right. But I remember like I never really argued with my parents. There was one time where I asked my dad like, hey, like, what do you think? And he's like, absolutely not. I was like, yeah, right. Never mind. You're right. Like, actually, that was stupid. I can't believe I actually finish your sentence. They didn't even let me finish that. But I also was like, yeah, this is stupid. I don't even know why I'm asking this question. Right. So I actually I have the opposite story for what so many brown kids go through. I actually like
bro.
self-eliminated,
Wow.
and but yeah, ultimately that's why I did chemical engineering, because I was good at math and physics,
Same.
and I'm sure
Yeah.
you were too. So
It was my strong suit.
it was my strong suit. So I was like, yeah, okay, well, if I'm going to do something with math and physics, it'll be this. But the heart wants what it wants, and and so I was like, I'm gonna do it. So,
Right.
Yeah.
So like, how did you go back to mom and dad and say that?
Well, I finished.
Or you didn't, maybe.
I mean, it's a good question. Like I finished my degree.
All right.
I wasn't one of those people that dropped out.
Right.
I think I was feeling a little too guilty.
Right. So you graduated in
2016
Wow.
is when I graduated.
Yeah, same thing.
And
Our path couldn't get any similar.
I know, it's crazy.
It's like
wild. Yeah.
It's insane. Like we were like both living in the city for 4 years. We didn't know each other.
No.
We're like both working towards something that we wanted. But
we didn't know how to get there quite
Wow.
exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
And then
Wow.
we're there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's also, I was like, I think
The only thing is I didn't make the switch until 2018. So like, I mean,
same. I didn't really make
Yeah.
the switch until late 2017, 2018 fully.
Right.
But the story that actually got me to where I got to was they have these things in engineering programs. You know this, but maybe the audience doesn't. But they have something called co-op programs,
Yep.
which is like after your third year
Yep.
in certain universities in Canada, you get get to do an internship with a company.
They auto place you in sort of like companies if you enroll into that program. So instead of like, going by yourself, like looking for internships, they have like these like partnerships almost.
Partnerships with certain companies. So if like you're a chemical
exactly.
engineer or whatever, like if it's a pharmaceutical company, an oil company, and then like a pipeline company, a food processing company.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had a lot of friends in my class that worked for Cheetos. The chips, yeah, like because in Montreal they had the Frito-Lay headquarters, like the chips, like Lay's headquarters and Cheetos as well, and
crazy.
Well, this is the Canadian, headquarters.
Right.
But I always thought that was so funny because on the resume it's just like, you've got like the BCG, all these management consulting firms like Cheetos. Yeah.
Can you expand that, please?
Exactly. I always find that so funny. But so they have these internship programs.
Yep.
And so I remember in the midst of my program at McGill, I got a 16-month internship at in a company called Suncor in Calgary, which is like essentially an energy company. It was McGill didn't necessarily have a co-op program. They had something called an internship program.
Okay.
And so you would essentially talk to the engineering department and say, hey, I'm going to take a 12 to 16 month leave.
Right.
From the university, fully intending to come back and complete my education.
Right.
But this is for my benefit and my learning experience and my future job opportunities. And so I moved back to Calgary.
Right.
Which is where I was from.
Where were you living in Montreal? Did you live in downtown, like near the campus?
I live in McGill Ghetto. Yeah, that's where I lived. I lived the first year was in residence, so I was in they converted an old Sheraton hotel on Sherbrooke. They converted that to a student res for my first year.
Is it the Evo? Were you in that?
I don't know anymore. Maybe it's the Evo now, but it was a Sheraton hotel.
Yeah, because like there's this thing called Evo in Montreal where it's like these buildings that used to be hotels before, and now they're like student residences.
Yeah. But this one was like I think maybe the first of its kind at that point. It was like 2010 or something like that. But it was it was an old Sheraton hotel. And it was wild because like some people would get like because based on the luck of the draw, who you were placed with or whatever. Yeah. Some people would get like the top floor penthouses, as their rooms.
That's crazy.
So like, and you wouldn't. So like some random kid from like Delhi, India or whatever would like put his name in the hat for the student res.
And he would just get drawn.
Yeah. So it was a randomized lottery system. So like you would be on like the 16th floor and you'd be like, you'd have a gigantic penthouse as your residence for that year. It was insane.
Welcome to Montreal. Like,
exactly. I know. Literally, it was like, I just had the standard, like, 2-bed, the queen size room, with my roommate.
Right.
So that was my sort of first year of residence. And then the rest of the years I lived on Lorne and Alamo. I lived in the Prince Arthur apartments on Lorne and Prince Arthur.
Yeah.
Nice. So I was just a ghetto baby.
Yeah.
McGill ghetto. Yeah. I wanted to go to the Milan a little bit, Saint Laurent, Saint Catherine, all those places.
Did you go to these? Did you go out to these places?
I did frequent a lot of these establishments. Because it's a big party city.
Right. It is.
My first and second year were incredibly That's where I got it all out of my system. all my partying. Mom and Dad, you didn't see this.
Yeah. I should have cut it.
Yeah. Also, my party when I say that I'm partying, it was probably so lame. Like
Right.
it was not a hard partier.
Right,
I was
right.
I was very nerdy, and I was mostly in the library studying. Is what I was doing.
Fair. Same, yeah.
But Montreal is incredible for its nightlife.
100%, yeah.
But
So you got that job in Calgary.
got the job in Calgary, and then in the midst of my 16-month internship, as I was mentioning before, I had a lot of friends in high school. Some friends, but there were some other people that I didn't know as well, but I knew that they were filmmakers. So like they would do a lot of short films and stuff like that. And they grew up in my neighborhood, so I sort of always watched them enviously.
So you knew of them.
I knew of them, but I was too scared to like approach them or ask them like how they got started, or like if I could get involved with them and stuff.
Right.
I was just scared.
Like what can I offer? Like it's just
what can I offer? Imposter syndrome.
Right. It's just,
And so then like I
yeah.
was working in the midst of my internship, and then so this is like 3 years in now, right?
Right.
And then for 3 years, and I'm sure you felt this way too, you're sort of on autopilot, right?
Right.
Like in McGill, the way I knew that I would go insane if I didn't do arts at all.
Right.
So in McGill, I was in the a cappella group.
Oh, really?
Because theater would be too much for my course workload, so I couldn't do theater.
Right.
So I had to do the next best thing, which was a cappella.
Right.
So like I did
Is that
the whole
the instrument.
No, it's like the singing, like the Pitch Perfect movies,
Oh, okay. So
like the Pitch Perfect movies.
I thought it was an instrument.
No, it's like
Okay.
singing without instruments, where you just sing, which with your voice, but you're in a group. So it's like sort of, it's not a choir, but it's like
It's like a choir, yeah.
it's sort of a choir. But so the whole point of a cappella is that like you make the instrument noises with your mouth.
What?
Yeah. So you like you have a couple of beatboxers. You got people that
So
make
you
the
make the
instrument
drum sounds with your mouth.
with your mouth. You make like the do 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 do. I'm singing "Toxic" by Britney Spears right now. Yeah, I'm singing
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that. That's
So like we
awesome.
did like mashups with different songs and things like that, and
So were you singing or were you producing the sounds?
both. So you would have people. So you would have like a group of like in an a cappella group, you'd have like 10 people, and 4 of them would make the instrument noises. 2 of them would
you juggled like a
do
bunch of
background
tasks?
vocals, and then you'd have 2 lead soloists and stuff.
Wow.
And because everybody in the group could sing, you would sort of alternate.
Right.
But the people that have seen the Pitch Perfect movies,
Yeah.
like the big, I don't know if have you seen Pitch Perfect at all? With Anna Kendrick.
I may have. It's been a while.
It's a hugely popular
Yeah.
movie series, but but that was my life. Like we would compete with all the Ivy League colleges. So we'd compete against like Yale, Columbia.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, there was one summer in New York where I went there and I competed. Our group from McGill went and like sang in like an a cappella competition with NYU, Columbia, and Yale, and
Crazy.
I think we literally came last place. But
Yeah. At least we were there. Like
at least we were there,
Yeah.
But so that was my sort of my outlet. I was like, if I don't do something arts related, I'm gonna go crazy.
Right.
And
So like all of that, that was like you did all of that, and then you were still like in the back of your mind, like you still wanted to go for acting.
But that's the thing. See, like it was yearning. I was yearning for something.
Right.
So then what happened is I'm working in Calgary in the midst of my 16-month internship, and then finally after 3 years of autopilot, I finally see like a Facebook posting, like a casting call by these guys that I always sort of admired from afar.
Right. These guys, right? Yeah.
And it was the lead of their feature film. It was like a no-budget feature film that they were shooting.
Feature or short?
Feature film.
Feature film.
Feature film.
That's a big deal.
That was a big deal, but it was like I think it was like literally like a $3,000 feature film.
Right.
But I didn't know at the time. I had no concept of how budgets and everything worked. I just knew that like they were casting for the lead role and it fit my specs. Like it was like Indian dude, sort of whatever, early 20s.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh my god, like here's my chance.
Yeah, literally.
Do I audition? Like I was still really scared.
Yeah.
But I was like,
I don't have a reel. I don't have a headshot. Nothing.
No, but I didn't even know that you needed reels or I didn't know any of that.
Yeah,
stuff,
I didn't even know what
I
a reel was.
I didn't know what I didn't know.
Right.
And so like I didn't know what I didn't know.
Right.
And so then I posted, like I submitted for the casting call. Cold submission. Just sent them an email. And then they got back to me and they were like, yeah, this is great. They were like, hey, by the way, we feel like we know you. Did we go to high school with you? And I was like, yeah, that's me. We went to high school. And they're like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm an engineer. I work in this company called Suncor, but I'm interning, but I study at McGill. And they're like, oh, we swear we thought you went to like drama school. And I was like, oh, why would you think that? And they were like, well, you were known as like the theater kid in high school. Like that's what people knew you as.
Wow.
And I was like, oh,
damn.
Yeah. And then suddenly like my brain, you know those moments in life where you have
the boost you needed to fucking go after your shit.
But here's the thing. It was sort of the start of something, because I'm sure you've experienced these moments in life where like, again, you're an autopilot and something happens where you like, it sort of jars you out of the autopilot path. And you're like, oh, wait. Yeah, actually, you're right. Like that was my past life.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so then fast forward, I actually get the lead role in this movie.
Did you get it because they liked you, or because you actually like the audition tape?
The audition went well.
Okay.
And then, but then the problem is I'm working 9 to 5 every day. And so then what they did is they actually, that entire summer, they filmed around my schedule. So I would film after 5 p.m. on Monday to Friday. I'd film after 5 p.m. So I'd film from like 6 p.m. to like 2 a.m.
That's insane.
And then I would sleep from like 2 to 6 and then go to work for my 9 a.m. shift again. And then we'd film every day Saturdays. Then we'd film on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday.
Bro, that's criminal.
Like I was not sleeping at all. Work-life balance was horrible.
That's criminal, bro.
And so that's how I would like lie to my boss, and I would like lie to the people that I was working with, because I'd be like,
of course you did,
because they'd be like, why are you so tired? How come this thing isn't getting done and stuff like that? Because my mind was in 2 different places.
You didn't tell them that you were going to.
I didn't tell them that. No, absolutely not. Because if I told them that, then they would be.
They thought you were resting after.
Exactly. But I would then I would also pull all-nighters to get my job stuff finished, right? Like, so if there's a presentation I had next day for the boss, I would like come back.
So how long was the shoot? Like
the shoot went on and off for like, I would say like 6 months, just because they were working around.
For 6 months.
6 months, because none of us were getting paid full-time rates, right? Because like they were working on everyone's schedules. Because everybody was doing it for volunteer, basically.
Right. So some people like shot in the day when they weren't working. You shot in the night because you were working. So it was
exactly. So then the real catalyst for everything. Sorry, this is a long story, but the real catalyst for everything.
Yeah.
We were shooting a party scene, and so we had to start shooting at like 10 p.m. We bought out this like hotel bar in downtown Calgary, and we had to fill it with extras. But of course, we couldn't pay extras. So we just told all our old high school friends, like, invite your friends, just come through.
Yeah.
And so they all were there.
Right.
But because it was my old high school people, when I was there filming, and they hadn't seen me in 3 years, right?
Right.
And every single person, it's so funny to like think about it, but every single person that came up to me and in that bar where we were filming, they were like, oh, we thought you were in drama school, or we thought you were in film school, or we thought you were in drama school, or we thought we were in film school.
Everybody kept saying this to you.
And
wow.
And so it was that night. That night really changed everything, because it was that night where I was like, I went home. I remember that day. I remember it so well because I went home and I was like, I was like, what the?
Yeah.
What the? Am I allowed to swear on this?
Yeah.
It's
on censor, bro.
Yeah.
You're good here. Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
Right.
Because I was like, up until now, I've just been on autopilot. But like, and the thing that also really scared me, actually, it was like, holy shit, like people around you know you more than you know yourself.
Yeah, like they all thought you were in drama school when you were just.
They know your identity and your sort of purpose in life more than you know it yourself.
Right.
And so that was the day, and it was the summer. It was like I had 2 months left in my internship, and I was going back to McGill. And I was like, so that at that point, I made a vow. I said, okay, I'm already in too deep. I'm not gonna quit now.
Right.
My parents only paid for my first year of university. The rest I paid through my summer jobs.
Wow.
And so I was like, I worked too hard at this. I'm not going to give up now. I'm going to finish my degree.
Right.
But I was like, as soon as I'm done my degree, though, like
we're doing this.
But
we're trying, at least.
I'm going to try it. But then I knew that I was going to come back for my job.
Right.
Because I'd gotten a full-time job offer after that.
Right.
And so I was like, I'm going to come back for that. And
crazy.
But I was like, but I'm going to try and give this acting thing go at that point. And so that's really, to answer your question in a long-winded way, you were like, what changed everything? It was that moment. And then sure enough, I came back and I was working in that company for a year and a bit.
Yeah.
At that point, the oil price went from $110 a barrel to like $38 a barrel. And then my entire team got laid off, including me.
Yeah.
And this was like 2016-ish.
Yeah.
And I was lost and depressed. And I was like, what am I doing with my life?
And
so at that point, I just started auditioning for local theater companies.
Mm-hmm. So you didn't have an agent at the time, like you were just
no agents, nothing. I didn't even know what agents did. I didn't know.
You didn't even know you needed one.
No, I didn't even know I needed one. I didn't know how to get into film and TV or anything like that. All I knew was one of the biggest kept secrets in Canada, or even in Alberta in general,
Right.
is every major North American city has theater companies. And these theater companies are called regional theater companies.
Okay.
And they're all professional.
Right.
So they pay a weekly fee to actors to act on these stages. And I didn't know that, right? Like I didn't know that outside of the big 1%, outside of the Leonardo DiCaprios of the world that act in these big movies and TV shows and stuff like that, 98% of the unionized workforce in the acting industry work as non-famous actors in theaters, voiceovers.
Right. That's how they fill in their time.
Guest stars on film and TV.
Yeah.
Those are the regular working actors that most of us are, right?
Right.
And they pay their bills anonymously doing that. And I didn't know that. I thought that actors were only the famous people, right? I didn't think about the people that were in the background. I didn't think about the people that were that did the 5 lines. I didn't think about the people that sort of were the jobbing actors.
You only thought like the big ones that you knew of. Yeah.
That's it. And I was like, there's no way any of us can get there.
Right.
So I didn't even bother doing that. So my whole goal was to be like, I just wanted to like work locally.
Right.
And so the funny story is, so in between so I got laid off, and then I was like, okay, there's something called community theaters.
Right.
Where again, most North American cities have this, where it's like people do theater as a hobby. So they work 9 to 5, and then community theaters, they put up like shows. So they have like just like any professional theater company, they have shows for the whole season. And so you audition for them. It's all unpaid.
Right.
But you finish your work at 5, you get cast in these shows, and so then you go and rehearse from like 6 to 9 p.m. And then once the show's ready to open, you put up. So every day after work, you go to the community center and you put on the show at 7:30 p.m.
Yeah.
But it's all unpaid.
Right.
And so my first kind of thing that I did after I got laid off was I did a musical called Jekyll and Hyde at a local theater company in Calgary.
Yeah.
But it was unpaid. And because I was working at Best Buy at the time as well.
Right.
And so what I told my parents was, the argument to my parents was, I said, listen, I got my degree. I did everything that you wanted. I did everything that I wanted.
Yep.
I want to give this acting thing a shot. In the meantime,
just you feel like you had like leverage at this point, right?
Some leverage, but then I was like, also, I wanted this acting thing really badly, but at the same time, I was like, I also want to keep saving money. Strategically speaking, I knew that it was very rare for people to do the thing where they pack up their bags and move to LA and make it big. Right.
Right. Yeah.
Those stories are very rare,
and that's a crazy one.
Those are the exceptions. They're never the rule.
Right. It's like
but I knew down the road that like at some point, it's a possibility. But I was like, if I wanted to actually give this thing a full-time go, I knew that I needed to save money. Like I knew that I needed to save that money and compound interest it.
Right.
So that I don't have to worry about paying rent.
Right.
During the time where I'm auditioning. Right.
Yeah. 100%.
And so I was like, I'm just going to work at Best Buy. I sort of built up some sales experience. And so I was literally working as a full-time associate at Best Buy.
Yeah.
And then I would do community theater at night.
Wow.
In the midst of all of that.
Here or
in Calgary.
In Calgary, sorry. Yeah.
And then in the midst of all of that is when I would apply for these professional theater companies.
Right.
And I did they have something called general auditions where the artistic directors of all these theater companies have a joint general audition where there's like 4 theater companies, 4 of the artistic directors sit on like a table panel and you go and you submit a cover letter. I didn't know what an acting resume was. I didn't know what a headshot was. So I asked my sister to take a picture of me like with her phone in front of my garage. That was my first ever headshot.
That was your headshot?
That was my first headshot. Because I didn't know that you have to get them professionally done. So it's embarrassing. Like you can see like acting on my face. You can see like there's a garage behind me. Like it was just such a bad headshot. And
you should cut to this in the book.
Oh my God. It was horrible, dude. Like my first, literally I was just like, it was like.
They should have sent it to me so we could get to this.
Well, so yeah, my first ever thing was I was applying for a local theater company and the theater company said, we need a resume, an acting resume, and a headshot. And I was like, what's a headshot? So then I Googled headshot and I was like, oh, so it's just people's faces. All right, cool. I can do that.
Literally what it says. Headshot.
Yeah. So I asked my sister, I'm literally, hey, can you help me? And she's like, what do you want? And I was like, I need a picture. So she just like literally took it on her iPhone. And I was like, but we got to print this out. So I went to the Kodak lab at Walmart and I printed it out. I printed out like 4 copies of that. Wow. That was my first headshot. And then I did I Googled like acting resume or whatever, and I had nothing. Like I had that feature film that I did.
Right.
So I put that as my one and only thing, and then I just did like high school musicals that I did back in high school.
So how did the feature film turn out?
It did really well, actually. So the feature film, we filmed it, and it premiered at the Calgary International Film Festival.
Wow. Okay. So like, it's not like okay.
It did well.
Despite like all the the scheduling and whatnot.
Despite all of that, now it's a very low budget feature, and it's not the best movie in the world. It's got a lot of flaws. But I'm so
work.
It was my first ever professional work, and I'm proud of the work that I did on it because I think my performance in it.
You gotta see that, bro. We gotta cut to that too.
Or not. Let's not see it. I don't know if we want to see it. In fact, I think the filmmaker who's now my best friend, he actually pulled it off of YouTube.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he.
This has gone for too long.
yeah, exactly. He's like, this is gonna impact my future work because he's like an accomplished director now.
Yeah, makes sense.
So he was like, we should probably remove this by now. Yeah. But it went well, and so I submitted that resume and that headshot. As my first ever professional things, and then I auditioned in the midst of working at Best Buy and doing community theater, and so then from those auditions, I got my first professional role, which was Murderer Number 2 in Shakespeare's Macbeth.
Murderer Number 2?
Murderer Number 2 in Shakespeare's Macbeth.
Is that the guy who kills Romeo? Romeo in the Shakespeare?
No. This is Macbeth.
Oh, in Beth. Okay, sorry.
Macbeth. Yeah. That's a different play.
I'm still in the Romeo and Juliet.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. So that was my first thing.
Yeah.
But then I didn't know because I was doing community theater at the time. Yep. Even though I knew it was professional.
Yep.
I thought that rehearsals would start at 6 p.m. Because I was doing community theater. I wasn't used to. I didn't know that there was a theater union. I didn't know there was an actors union. I didn't know that like professional actors work like 9 to 5 like the rest of us.
Right.
That I had no idea.
Right. You thought they were just like chilling. Yeah.
They were chilling until 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And so then on Tuesday morning, first day of rehearsal, I'm working at Best Buy.
Right.
And I get a call from the stage manager.
Interesting.
And she was like, hey, where are you? And I'm like, I'm at work. And she's like, it's 10 a.m. And I'm like, yeah, I'm at work. And she's like, dude, no, like you have rehearsal. And I'm like, yeah, but that's at 6 p.m. She's like, no, it's professional. And I was like, professional? She's like, we gave you a contract. You signed it. And I was like, yeah, but no one reads those things. Like, no one reads. Like, when was the last time you read, like, the fine print on a waiver? I don't know. Nobody reads those
like a fucking 18 pages contract.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Read the fine prints, bro.
It's so funny, too, because that's how we all, that's how we do this. We, like, sign without reading these things, and then we realize no one reads this thing, and then we get into trouble, and then we wonder why.
You gotta read the fine prints, bro.
Exactly. Literally. But, yeah. And so then I'm like, and then I'm panicking now because now my heart's beating really fast, and I'm like,
because you're supposed to be there.
And I was like, what do I tell my boss?
Like,
and I'm late to my first day of rehearsal. These are in front of all these professional actors. Now they must think that like I suck and that I'm not a professional, and all these things. And I'm like, And so and then she was like, there's a union, right? I'm like, there's a union? And she's like, yeah, like you by doing this production, you get your first sort of union credit.
Right. It's like she was opening your eyes, bro. Everything.
I was like, what is happening? Because I'm in Calgary, right? I thought it was like an LA and New York thing. I didn't think that this was a thing in the rest of the world.
Like a small fish, like
exactly.
It's not that big, right?
No. So then it was literally like that day where I had to like talk to my boss and I had to be like, listen, I'm so sorry, but I have to go. It's an emergency. And she's like, you can't leave. We're paying you money. You're a full-time associate. I'm like, I'm sorry, I gotta go. It's an emergency. And I left. I took the train.
You like, fuck it, just left?
I left. I didn't quit my job at that point. I just said emergency or whatever, and I left. And then I was at the table read, my first ever professional table read.
Wow.
And I did this embarrassing thing where I still cringe thinking about it, but like I didn't think it's a table read, right?
Right.
So people sit around the table and they wrote.
So you didn't even know what a table read was at the time.
No.
You're gonna read the script. Yeah.
Nothing. But then there was this thing where like everybody sits around the table and they read, but I just assumed that like when it's your turn, when it's your character, you stand up.
And you read.
You read. So I just stood up. And every single time I kept standing up to read my lines, I kept looking and people were giving me weird looks. And I was like, why are people? And then I started noticing that nobody else was standing up.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, you idiot. Like, you don't have to stand up. And then also.
So it took you a couple stand-ups for you to realize that no one else was
standing up.
So it took you a couple times for you to realize what was happening. You didn't get the memo, like off of the.
I didn't get the memo. Like, I think I was still like panicking.
Bro.
That like I had no idea. And then on top of that, because
you were so used to performing. You're like, you know what? I'm used to performing and I'm used to standing up on stage. Like,
I'm just gonna stand up and like do this whole thing. That's how this whole thing is. It was so embarrassing. And then on top of that, because it was Shakespeare, I thought that you had to do it in a British accent.
Right.
But in Canada and even the States, it's actually discouraged. They don't do Shakespeare in a British accent unless you're natively British.
Yeah.
They actually say just speak in a regular accent. But of course, I had no idea.
Right.
And so my dumbass.
You spoke in British.
In a British accent the entire time. And of course, people were giving me weird looks because of that too. So
and obviously, no one said anything.
No one said anything.
I guess it's a mistake on the character.
Yeah, yeah. It's so embarrassing. So that was my first day. And I remember after the director came up to me, he was just like, so you don't have to stand for table reads. And also drop the British accent. And I remember I went to the washroom and I was hitting my head against the wall. I was just like, you idiot. This is like you're already late. Like, and then you made a fool of yourself. That was my first professional contract. Like that was my.
Hearing, bro. This is insane.
Yeah, that was literally how it all started. You know.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah.
That's an explosive start, bro.
Yeah, but that's how, you know what, and that because that show went well, and I'd like to think I did a pretty good job in that show.
Hold on, how did you? I mean, because that was like Monday to Friday thing, right? How did you work that out with your Best Buy?
I quit my job.
So you quit the next day?
Yeah. Quit my job. Handed in my resignation basically, and I was like, I can't. This is a full-time job. My parents were also really confused and upset because they were like, why would you, like, what are you talking about? Because I was only getting paid like the equity minimum at the time, the union minimum for the contract that I was doing was like
crazy. It
was like $900 a week, right?
Right.
And so my parents were like, you're dropping your full-time job for $900 a week. And I had to explain to them, I was just like, listen, like I have savings from my engineering job. I'm young still.
Yeah.
If there's going to be a time in my life,
unreal,
it has to be now.
Yeah. That's literally what I told them too. Same thing. And
there's also this weird, I don't know. I think as actors, we all have to have like a healthy level of delusion.
Yep.
I think we all, there's no way to do what we do without having just like you have to have this weird delusional self-belief.
Yep.
And I knew from high school and I knew from university that I was a good actor and singer.
Mm-hmm.
And even doing the feature film that I just told you about, even that feature film, like people were praising my performance and saying things about it that made me feel like, you know what, I'm not going crazy here. Like I actually
there's something there.
There's something here. There's some sort of skill set here that I should keep pursuing.
Right.
Whether I was like amazing or not, that I didn't know. I didn't, and I still don't think that way about myself or anything like that. I have way too much imposter syndrome and I always worry a lot.
Yeah, you're fortunate enough to be where you are and like, you know, you're very blessed.
But I always think I'm my own worst critic and I never think I'm good enough ever.
It's actually
but like whatever it was that I was getting, like any good engineer, I was literally tracking the type of roles I was getting, the feedback that I was getting for them on like an Excel spreadsheet. And so I was like, and that trend line, that trend line was a positive trend line. And because even after Macbeth finished, like the director from that show was just like, hey, you should keep doing this. You should be part of this next show.
Wow.
And so then I got the lead role in the next one.
All the theater stuff, right?
And it was like, I got to play Orlando in a Shakespeare show called As You Like It. And so
nice.
That was my second professional contract. And so then essentially so one thing sort of led to another. And then I started realizing like, actually, hey, like I'm getting lead roles doing this stuff.
Right. Like this, I can actually make a career out of this.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
money to be made here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think, that's the full backstory.
So how did that's great, man. It's actually I was not expecting that. That's a very fascinating story. Very funny, plus like very unpredictable. Now, how the hell did you get to Vancouver?
What's a great question.
Yeah.
I got to Vancouver because a friend of mine from high school.
Right.
Her name is Tila Datta. Tila.
I know her. Yeah.
You know Tila?
I met her. Yes, I know Tila. Shout out Tila. Yeah.
Tila. I'm using both.
Yeah.
Tila.
Yeah.
Tila Datta is my. I call her my fairy godmother.
Yep. She's great. Yeah.
Because she.
Actually, as a matter of fact, I remember how I met Tila. 2019, like I had like a career session with her.
Yes,
back in 2019.
Consultant. But before that, she was a casting assistant
at. Yes, she told me.
At Sean and JJ's.
Yep.
Which is a casting office in town. They do a bunch of big shows here, and
yep.
But she was a high school friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
One of my really good friends from high school.
Nice.
And she was also part of that theater. Remember I was talking about that theater group?
Yep.
Like my friends?
She was
one of those people.
Wow.
And so she became a casting director here. And then she was the one that called me randomly in 2017. And she was just like, what are you doing with your life? She's like, there's a lot of people are really sort of going for diversity here in terms of casting. There's a lot more representation needed in front of the camera.
Yep.
If there's going to be a time to actually come here and give this place a shot, it would be now.
Right.
And she knew that I was doing theater out in Calgary. So she was just like, if you ever consider film and TV, just know that I think it'd be a really good opportunity to move to Vancouver.
Right. So that was like, this conversation was like in 2017, 2018?
Yeah, late 2017.
Okay.
And
same time, yeah.
and then she was the one that actually.
Yep.
And so of course, no kids, no responsibilities,
Yeah.
Savings in the bank
Thankfully,
account.
yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna
Right.
give this a shot,
Yeah.
And
bro, you must have given like your parents a heart attack with this shit.
oh, full heart attack.
I mean, like you're already like, you told them that you were doing acting, then you
Oh,
dropped,
no, they were.
you dropped the whole Best Buy stuff. Now you're like doing community theater or whatever.
Yeah.
Now we're moving to Vancouver. Like,
I know.
what is this kid
It's
doing?
crazy, but it's it's funny too. Like even the people that I did the feature film with, they
Right.
became my really good friends.
Right.
And so they were all filmmakers, right?
Right.
And so they also actually moved to Vancouver before I did.
Okay.
And so they were living in an apartment here.
Uh-huh.
And so I moved in with them. So, and they were all from Calgary. So the way I sort of explained it to my parents was I had already had a support system here,
Hold on. I think, who were those people?
Do you know Babik Makan? Babik and Jushin Makan?
No.
They are this brother duo. They were part of this company called Rendering Glen Films.
Okay.
Babik is now an incredibly accomplished director and also musician.
Nice.
He goes by the name of Skinny Local. I'm dropping all the plugs today.
A lot of bombs, bro.
Dropping all the plugs and then picking them back up because they're precious to me. But yeah, so I moved in with them.
Nice.
And so I had a really wonderful support system when I moved here because I didn't feel lonely. The city can be really cold and lonely.
I definitely felt that way when I first moved, bro.
Yeah, it's really hard to make friends here.
Oh, bro, tell me about it. It took me a long time to get my circle.
Exactly.
It's just it's a very cliquey city. People just knew each other from fucking kindergarten or something, and then they grew up together. And then for someone like us, coming from from Quebec, but I'm coming from all the the other side.
Same. Like, I mean,
It's rough, so.
But if I can guess, I'm sure a lot of your friends here were also transplants, right? They were people from other provinces or people that weren't necessarily native to Vancouver.
Yeah. In the beginning, yeah.
Exactly.
But eventually, you do meet like people who are open and stuff like that. Especially in this in the acting community.
Exactly.
Everyone's open in that one.
Exactly.
But making friends in general, like it was rough.
Very rough. And so I'm lucky that I had somebody like Tila.
Yep.
And my friends from Calgary watching out for me. And so Tila was the one that actually introduced me to my agents here. And so that's how, she was the one.
So she introduced you to play?
Exactly.
Wow.
So she actually put together a list of people just from her being a casting director in the city. She knew all the agents.
Right.
So she was like, here are the people I think would be good for you.
Right.
And her and Wesley Salter, who is an incredible actor in town, teacher as well,
really good
great mentor. And he works at the time he was at Jeb Beach Studios.
And he used to be at casting as well.
Exactly, and Clark and Page. And so Wesley Salter and T-Lubs both sort of combined their expertise and their resources.
Right.
And they put together a list, and they sent out. Wes helped me sit down one night, and he put together my package.
Yep.
And he sent it out to all the people that Tila recommended.
He sent it out?
He sent it out on behalf of Tila. Like Tila recommended I meet with him.
Yep.
And so Wes sent everything out.
I actually met with Wes as well back in 2019. He did the same thing with me.
Crazy. We are literally the same person.
I'm not sure. I can literally show you the email if you don't believe me.
Yeah, no, I believe you.
Put a list of agents for me.
Yeah.
To submit for.
Yeah.
That's insane.
No, like I owe them a lot, and so then, and so that's how it all started. Like I got my agent.
So did you get a couple of interviews? How did you get with?
This whole I just went around. So that's what I did. I took the train and bus every day, every morning.
Yeah.
For like the whole week, I had like literally 6 meetings for each day of the week.
Right. So who did you meet with before?
I went with a bunch of different agencies in the city.
Okay.
Like all the major ones, like Characters, Principals, Premier Talent.
Right. You went with them all. Yeah.
I basically just named it. Play, Red. And they were all wonderful. Nothing bad to say about any of them. Like with anything, I say this to newer actors too. It's, with these agency interviews and stuff like that. I also didn't know what I didn't know, right? Like I had no idea what to look for in an agent, nothing like that. You just sort of have to go with your gut instinct and see which one's the right fit. My agent, who I'm still with, she's wonderful. There was just a vibe. I just felt that she understood what I wanted long term. I can get very, I'm really obsessive. I really love this. I really love storytelling. I really love this art form. I want to do great quality roles. I want to tell great stories. Like I really want to, if I'm doing this, I really want to go all out. And I'm
absolutely,
I really treat it with a lot of respect because I respect this art form a lot. And so for me, I get sort of very overtly ambitious with it to the detriment of my own well-being sometimes, like I can have a much healthier work-life balance. But I think she sort of understood the heights, the vision of what I wanted to get to. And so I'm still with her. Shout out Mary Falcon, who's my wonderful agent at Play.
She's amazing. Shout out Mary if she's watching.
Yeah. So she, I signed on with her and yeah, I don't know. The interviews are, I'm sure, like you went through your interview. How was your interview process? With
very similar,
Yeah, you sort of have to, I don't know. It's a weird thing because you sort of, I keep forgetting that agents are not your boss. Like they're your partners.
Partners, yeah.
Your business partners.
It's a very interesting relationship because like when you get hired in normal circumstances, when you get an actual job, like you have a boss. Yeah. You're working for somebody. Yeah. But now you're working with somebody. Yeah. Right. So that's not like it's weird. Right? Like you're not working for them, you're working with them, and then you guys are a team, and then they get you the roles, and when you book something, they get a cut. And,
exactly. Yeah, it's weird. Like you're almost getting to know them and asking them questions. You're sort of interviewing them as opposed to them interviewing you.
Pretty much, yeah.
And
because you're selling yourself too. Like it's not like you're
selling yourself, and you're asking them also about like what is my type? Like where do I fit in at the ecosystem of things? You know,
right.
Because it's. And this is something we can maybe get into, but like, I think what I didn't realize at the time is like, we're all actors and we all have these aspirations to play all sorts of different roles. Because we think inherently that being an actor is you get to be a chameleon, right? You get to play multiple roles. That's the point of being an actor.
Absolutely.
I think what the industry teaches us though, over time, it sort of kicks our ass and humbles us. Yeah. And what we realize is that like, the industry has something called types. And the way the casting directors and producers and directors categorize us is they see us as types, right?
Correct.
They see the leading man, they see the ingenue, they see the character actor. Yep. And then on top of that, as people of color as well, it's even more of a challenge because now, because of the colonialistic sort of, because of colonialism. Because of the whitewashing in this industry. It's a very white industry.
Yeah, like 90% of the roles are written for white people.
White people.
To be honest.
Yeah.
The other 10% is whatever's left.
Exactly.
So like this.
But because of the sort of the all-pervading whiteness of the industry, it's very hard for people to take, for both casting and producers, mainly producers, I would say, because casting, I've come to sort of understand and learn now is casting, especially local casting, they really champion us and they really fight for us. They're actually our biggest champions. Yeah. They lose.
They want you to succeed.
They want you to succeed, and they also fight for us in these rooms with producers. Yeah. It's the producers that go white.
Of course. Especially Canadian talent.
Exactly.
Like when they have like an American one, and if there's a Canadian talent in the equation, like hey, like they're gonna try to push for you because like hey, like this is.
They're the only ones that are fighting for us. Honestly, our agents and them, of course.
We're gonna support the locals. You know what I mean? Like we gotta put us on the map.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what I found out is that like. As much as you think that you can play multiple things and you don't want to pigeonhole yourself, right? Unfortunately, the industry sort of automatically pigeonholes you.
Does it for you, yeah.
Does it for you. And they also because of the whiteness of the industry, they don't necessarily see a person of color playing leads, right? You're always either the tech support, the cab driver, the 7-Eleven owner.
In very like rare circumstance, like Aladdin, for example, just because he's actually a brown guy,
exactly,
in the Disney movies, like, and they need like a brown person.
But even within the sort of the color spectrum, there's shadism too, right? Yeah. It's the people that have the whitest skin within the people of color, that are more seen as leads, than
the browner you get. Worse it gets, I guess.
Exactly, right? And I'd like to think it changed a little bit, but then it's again, I think my personal opinion is now it's sort of reverting back to its mean again. It's sort of coming back to what it was in 2014 again, which is unfortunate. But so I think I quickly realized that like it's a business. And I also realized that the people that actually consistently work a lot too are people that have sort of zeroed in on their branding and their type. Right?
Yeah.
The person that sort of comes in knowing, hey, actually, this is my type. These are the types of roles that I can play consistently in things. And they talk to their team about it and they say, hey, let's try and really pitch me as this type of person a lot. Let's get really specific at what I can play.
Yeah.
Those are the people that actually are the ones that work the most.
Right.
Because casting sees them as a certain type. They've branded and marketed themselves as a certain type.
What would you say is your type right now that you tend to go for?
I guess what I was trying to get to is I suck at this part.
You suck. Okay.
I'm so bad at
you let
knowing what my
casting and
type
agents
is.
sort of like just figure this out for you.
Yeah, I don't know what my type is. I think, and that's also weird. Like
Right. Would you like settle for any role? Like, would you like for example, like if they were to send you like a breakdown and be like, okay, no, that's not something I could do, because maybe you don't see yourself.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Totally. Like, and those are conversations I have with my agent for sure.
Right.
Yeah, there's roles that I don't think I'm a good fit
you just
for.
Don't see it, yeah.
Yeah, but I also still audition for them.
Yeah.
Because to me, getting an audition, the way I look at it, and of course, you know, where I'm in my career now, I'm a little more selective than I used to be.
Of course, yeah.
And my agents also, like, you know, there's certain roles that we don't submit for anymore.
Right.
But like, I remember when I was starting out, like, even my agents starting out actually at the time, they were very adamant that I don't shortchange myself.
What?
You know, don't shortchange myself.
Okay.
And by that I mean, like, there's a tendency for the Canadian actor that's starting out to say yes to everything.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And my agents and myself were very sort of intentional to be like, hey, if this is like a 5-line role and you're the cab driver, we're saying no. We don't care that it's 5 lines. And we don't care that you'll make money doing it. We're saying no.
Okay.
Because going into it, I had a theater background, I had a theater resume.
So, like, can you explain that a little more for someone who doesn't understand, like, what's, like, why would you say no to something like
Yeah,
that?
so
people get it,
so because the way the traditional sort of system works in film and TV is like when you're first starting out, you know, you start out playing the background role, and then from background you upgrade to like the 1-liner. You have 1 line on the episode, right? And then from 1 line you upgrade to 5-line roles, right? So it's the actor 1-line roles are called actor roles. 5-line or above is called principal roles. Above principal would be like the guest star role, right? Where you have more than 5 lines and you sort of feature in an episode or 2 and then you're gone for the rest of the series.
Right.
And then on top of guest star, then it's like recurring guest star. So you feature in multiple episodes. And then after recurring guest star is series regular. So you're like a main character. So essentially the ladder, the traditional ladder that most of us climb, and what the industry tells you to do is, hey, when you're starting out, the agents, what they do is they sort of mass send you out for 1-liners, right? They're like, this is how casting will get to know you, right? So audition for the 1 line in this, audition for 1 line in that, and build up your resume.
Right.
And then as you build up more and more credits, more casting will trust you more and more, and then you can start auditioning for leads.
Right.
The strategy that my team and I took was we were like, we'll only do that in the right circumstance.
So you bypass the whole 1-liner.
No, that's not true. I auditioned for 1-liners and 5-liners.
Okay.
But we wouldn't say yes to all of them.
Okay.
You wouldn't say yes to all auditions for any of them just because, right? Like, we were intentional with our strategy because going into it, I was already professionally acting in the theater world. And I think based on my reel and based on what I had at the time, based on my resume, my agents and I were like, I feel that I can get, I don't necessarily have to spend time constantly auditioning for 1-liners or 5-liners. That, like, I have enough experience where I can actually jump to a guest star role. Right. Based on my audition. Right. Based on doing a self-tape or going into the room. That I had the skill set already. Yeah. Based on the 10,000 hours that I put into it, based on my theater background. Yep. That, like, I wasn't necessarily starting from scratch. Right? Like, I'm going into this having some experience. Yeah. So because of that experience that I had, our strategy was, let's not waste time.
Let's just aim high right away.
Let's just see what happens, right?
Right. Yeah.
And so, of course, every once in a while I would audition for 1 lines and 5 lines. I would.
Okay.
But I would never book those.
Right.
I would never get any of those. In fact, there was only one-line role that I ever did.
Right.
And it was a non-speaking role. I didn't even actually say my line.
Interesting.
So like...
Yeah. Do you think like this is a better strategy rather than going the incremental ladder, like one-liners and five-liners?
I guess here's the thing. It just depends where you start, right? Like,
because you didn't have experience. So
I had some experience, so it's different, right?
Yeah,
I would recommend if people don't have any experience, it just wouldn't be in your best interest.
Just go the normal route.
Go the normal route, and then of course, once, and that's a conversation that you have with your reps, right? Of
course,
that's why you do the daily, not daily. Jesus, don't annoy your agents daily. My God.
Yeah.
But like that's why you do your sort of monthly or
100%.
quarterly check-ins where you're like, hey, where am I at? What do you think? You know. But also, to get more specific, like I don't know what my type is. I think it's for I think for me personally, I think it's for other people to tell me what my type is. I don't know.
Yeah. Because like I mean, if I were to just kind of like, just like quickly off of like, I know what you're right. So like I like I feel like like you could do like leads and you could do like villains, like and stuff like that. And
I would like to think so. I would like to think so.
Yeah.
But I also think I can be the comedic character actor too.
Absolutely, yeah.
But
you can do a lot of things, yeah.
I can do a lot of things, but the thing is, I can believe that I can do a lot of things.
Right.
But producers might only see me as
in another way,
a certain type, right?
At the end of the day, like unfortunately, like, what matters is how they see you.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter how much you fantasize about all these dream roles, but it's just how they see you. That's how they see you.
And I think that's the unfortunate sort of business reality of the thing.
Yeah.
But I think the way to combat against that, though. And I think that's what I didn't understand at the time is the way to combat against that. And this is also, by the way, I'm not recommend that people doing this because I know people have to pay their rent.
Yep.
And not everybody can say no to things.
Right.
Right. But I think to get more specific, like, yes, I had some experience, which is why we didn't say yes to everything. But also, we said no to the wrong things.
Right.
So like, if casting was like, hey, can he come in to play 5 lines? And the role was like terrorist number 2, right? Let's just say the role was like terrorist number 2 on a superhero show,
right?
Like on The Flash or something.
Yep.
My agents and I would say, thank you, but we're not doing that.
Do casting?
Yeah. Right? Because he's like, hey, it's a cliched role.
Right.
Because now once you say yes to that,
right,
then casting will only see you as that.
So let me try to understand this, because usually the way it works for casting, because again, like I'm not super familiar with this.
Yeah.
Isn't it your agent who basically decides where they submit you?
Yeah.
Or it's the casting who like, oh, would like to see Praneet for this one.
Well, it's a bit of both, right? So for example,
right.
the agents will submit. So sorry, let me go back.
Yeah.
I guess in my particular case, my agent's rule and policy for us was we're not even going to submit to that.
Okay.
Right. So that was the rule from
right off the bat. We're not even going to we'll skip through those. Yeah.
Because the way you combat against getting typecast,
right,
and the way you combat against people not seeing you as a lead, or not seeing you as a certain type of thing, is if the agent's constantly submitting you. And again, everyone's different.
Right.
But like if the agents are constantly submitting you for the 1-liner and 5-liner role, if they're only submitting you for terrorist roles, if they're only submitting you for cab driver roles,
that's how you
if they're only submitting you for tech support roles, you do enough of that and you do enough auditions like that, then you're automatically giving casting and producers permission to see you as that.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because now it's getting imprint in their brain. They're like, I only ever see this guy for these types of things. So they can't imagine you as anybody else, right? You're sort of taking away your own agency and you're taking away their agency to see you as anybody else. So the strategy for us was, we'll say yes to the 1-liner and the 5-liners, but it has to be the right role.
Right. Got it.
So for example, 5-liner role terrorist on The Flash.
Right.
No. But 5-liner role next to Keanu Reeves in a Netflix movie? Yes.
Yeah.
Right? So that was sort of our business strategy. Now,
right,
did I book any of those two? No, 0. I didn't book any of those.
Right.
But the strategy was, let's do the sort of the roles that don't typecast you. Let's do the roles where they see you as a leading man, or they see you as something that's not just the side character to a white leading person. Right.
So this whole strategy, was that pitched by your agent to you, or is that something you came up with? It seems very precise. It seems very thought up.
Bit of both.
Yeah.
Bit of both.
Like very well crafted.
Yeah, a bit of both. A bit of both.
Yeah.
And then of course, when you did enough auditions, casting would sometimes Be like, hey, by the way, we saw Praneet for this, but can he actually come in for this? And then when we saw what this was, it was like, it's a tech support role? No.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And so then when you start saying, and it sucks, right? By the way, I would stay up at 2 a.m. at night being like, I moved to Vancouver. I'm paying really expensive rent.
Yeah.
What am I fucking saying no to shit for?
Right,
I've earned nothing. Who am I? I'm a nobody.
Who am I to say no? Yeah.
Who am I to say no?
Right.
And so at 2 a.m., it's staring at the ceiling and being like, am I doing the right thing? This is so stupid. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
All those self-doubt, you know?
Right.
And it's not even like the ones that I auditioned for and I said yes to, I didn't even get those roles.
Right. So it's not like you have leverage.
It's not like I have leverage, and it's not like I could even see my strategy working either. Right.
Yeah. You just sort of like testing and see if it works. It's something you just sort of like
exactly. Right.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. But it was all in service of the method to the madness was all because I just inherently believed in my heart of hearts, and so did my team, that like as hard as it would be,
it would pay off.
That this was our only leverage. Like this is the only way we could ensure in a business where people would always typecast you.
Yeah.
The only way you could ensure that people don't is by saying no or not submitting to certain types of roles. So then what happens is in a pool of brown actors in a city.
So your agent would say no to some roles at casting and be like, hey, we want to see Praneet for that guy. We want to see Praneet.
Every once in a while. Yeah.
Right. Because sometimes casting would literally just request you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
audition, not offer, but audition.
Auditions, yeah. So all the casting came from all the auditions that came from casting as requests. You guys turned those.
Not
down.
all of them. It depends on the role, right? It just depends
on the roles. Yeah.
It depends on the role,
okay.
right? It depends on the role, and but it was all in service of like ensuring that they saw me as a leading man, or they saw me as as a villain, you know, or they saw me as somebody that can do more than just.
Right. So here's the thing. I want to, because like I'm trying to like understand this, because like in the beginning you don't have any credits, right? So it's not like casting knows you.
Yeah.
So how can they actually afford to even be like, hey, we want to see Praneet for this? They don't even know you. How can they know that?
See me for what, like the 5-liner and the 1-liner?
5-liners, like this.
Well, the 5-liner, 1-liner are low stakes roles, right? So
it's like they will see anybody for that.
They're already seeing like 100 people for that, anyways. So it's not. It doesn't really cost them much.
Right.
But I guess if your question is like, if your question is like, if your question is more about like, how did they think that they could call you in? Because I know leverage,
right?
Without credits,
yes.
How would they suddenly be like, actually, he's ready for like the recurring role, right?
Yes.
And I think the answer I think lies in the fact that like, I think I was just my auditions were good, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You had like good tapes, yeah.
I think that was the only reason, right? Although there was no other thing. Like it's because it's not like I had credits.
Right.
I would also invite whenever I was doing any because when I first moved to Vancouver, the first things that I did here was theater. Right. So because of word of mouth and because of mutual connections, like artistic directors in Alberta and new artistic directors here.
Yeah.
So they would message them and email them on my behalf, and I would audition for theater companies here.
Yeah.
And so then what I would do is I would send emails every day to local casting, film and TV casting directors, and I would invite them. I would get them complimentary tickets, and I would invite them to see my shows. And so in conjunction with my self-tapes, I would also get them to watch me actually act professionally on stage.
Right.
And so it was a combination of both of those things where they'd be like, oh, actually, no, this guy, sure, he could do the 5-liner terrorist role.
Yeah. But
like he actually has more in him.
Right.
And then on that in combination with us saying no to these things.
Yeah.
Because in a pool of brown actors in the city, right? Let's just say there's 10 of us.
Yeah.
If I'm let's just say for argument's sake, 9 out of the 10 people are constantly going for those terrorist roles.
Yep.
If I'm the only one that's never going in for them, they can't help but being like, there's a mystery about this guy. There's something different about him. He's not doing this. What's separating him from that?
Right.
And then they see the tapes and they see me acting on stage. And so that sort of naturally creates it's a perception game, right? They naturally start seeing you as something different.
Gotcha.
And I think
that's a cool strategy. It's good.
But I'm saying this now in hindsight. But at the time I was shitting my pants.
It very well could have not worked.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like
100%.
It turned out good for you. Doesn't mean that like it's gonna work for everyone.
No. And I would say that I was I would say, and I would also say 2 more things, which is that because I don't want to bullshit about any of this stuff because I think people have this fantasy about the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I had savings,
Right.
Like because of my engineering job, because I'd worked at Best Buy and all these things, I had like, I had some money saved up.
Right.
So for myself, I knew that I could technically go 2 years without having to worry about where my next meal was going to come from, where my rent was going to come from, right? So I could just purely focus on auditioning, and I could also purely focus on what I wanted,
right?
And I could afford to say no,
right.
Like I want to make that very clear.
You're in a very unique position.
I was a very unique position, which is why you know sometimes I get invited to certain panels for like BIPOC actor panels, or there's a lot of emerging young up and coming actors that also kind of did engineering, or their parents don't want them to do drama school, and they ask me questions about this stuff, and I always tell people now, and it's my practical advice. I tell them like I always say, don't quit your day job.
100%.
I always say have a flexible side income.
Yep.
All in the service of, or save up money.
Yep.
And I say that because it is the secret sauce.
Right.
Because what it allows you to do is it allows you to just not think about anything else.
True.
It allows you to not be desperate in the room.
Yep.
Right. When you go in for an audition, you don't have the desperate energy.
Yeah, because you're not.
Because you're like, whatever.
My rent is fine. Like,
rent is fine.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even need this job.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna come in and play.
Yeah.
All right, bye. Whatever.
That's the mindset you need to be in.
And then you make the best choices in that mindset too, right?
Sure.
And then you're also not coming from a place of anxiety all the time, and you're able to do things. So, and I don't want to bullshit you on that, right? Like a big reason for any sort of success I have is I had a lot of help, people like Tila, people like Wes, a lot of great director mentors that took me under their wing. No one gets anywhere without help. So for me, the number one reason there's any sort of success in my life is because of people that helped me.
Yeah.
And number two, because I had money saved up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Huge part of it. I think people think they have this fantasy
Yep.
that it's like, oh, it's just about hard work and it's just about skill.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's actually 80% of this is about money, generational wealth. If you come from an upper middle class rich family, you actually have a higher propensity to succeed in this industry.
Easier pass,
who knows you? You know?
It's a very connection-based business,
So this whole notion of merit and hard work,
Yeah.
it's all bullshit, man.
Yeah, I mean,
It's So that, and then I would say the other thing too is I lost my train of thought. But I had money saved up, so that was a huge part of why I could sort of do that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, you also need a bit you also need luck. Yeah, you need the stars to align.
And that's the other thing too.
All of these things that need to happen.
I got very lucky.
You need a bit of luck. Like in everything in life, right? Like a bit of luck to kind of just really helps propel you that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Amazing, man.
Yeah.
What a story, bro. Okay, I mean, I have a lot of questions, but that that was a really good answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do want to get to the juicier question because I don't want this to drag forever.
No, it's all good.
So that's good. We went through that. Because that answer sort of answered a lot of the questions already.
Yeah, sorry, I went full.
It's great. No, it's great.
It's
great. It's amazing. Okay. Yeah. So, okay, I want to know your process. Okay. This is something that's really, really important. Because I've had some guests on the show and I've asked them this question. So let's say you get an audition, okay, and you decide to take it on.
Yeah.
What do you do? What happens? From the moment you get the breakdown to the moment you put it on its feet to the moment you maybe even book it and you get on set and whatever. What happens? Do you start diving into script analysis? Do you start memorizing? What exactly happens? The nitty gritty. So that's
the first thing I usually start with, and it's different for everything.
Right.
I'm not gonna say that I have a set process for anything, but for me, the first thing I do is I research the tone of the show. I look at the showrunner's previous work.
Yep.
I read the breakdowns. Less about the character, more about the actual tone of the show.
Right. So really, the first thing is the show.
The first thing is research what the show is.
You watch an episode or something, or you might.
If they have previous shows, I'll watch the previous shows. Not the entire season, but I'll go watch an episode or two.
Just to get the sense.
To get a sense of the tone, and then and then based on the tone, I sort of do the script analysis. Sort of, and my script analysis is pretty simple. I sort of just do, there's the scene moment before, what's happening the moment before.
Yep.
What do you want?
Yep.
And then what is the obstacle?
Right.
That's just three simple questions I ask. Moment before, objective, obstacle.
So that's all you do for all the auditions. Just those.
That's sort of the baseline foundation.
Right.
And then I walk around my living room like a madman, just trying shit, right? Like I just like
new choices and stuff like that.
Yeah,
right?
I just like memorize my lines,
Right.
and then I just like
Right.
I like look at the scene like 50 different ways, and I'm just like, oh, I wonder if I did it this way, or I wonder if I did it this way, or I wonder if
Right.
I did it this way. You
So
know?
like, how technical do you get with each line? Do you like have these sort of like these tactics that you preload, or like do you just try them on the fly? Like this
I'm
is,
pretty. I wouldn't say no. I don't really pre-program any.
so you don't like have like an
tactics.
intention or anything like that. It's just
The intention is more of an overarching intention.
the objective
of
and
the
you-
objective,
and you
right?
let the
And sure, within the objective,
Yeah.
I'll find sort of the beat shifts.
right.
You know, so I'll find like sort
But
of
that's
like
all in your head, right? Like not all.
yeah, like I used to do a lot of it on paper.
Right.
Now I've done it enough to the point, enough
Yep.
practice where now I sort of have it sort of instinctually. I kind of
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because that part is very confusing. A lot of like, you know, I mean, obviously, like for someone who's starting out and who's never done this, was like what the hell's an objective? What are obstacles?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what, like,
yeah.
what is that, right? So,
And then the way I also
we
look
should-
at it, yeah, go ahead.
sorry, yeah. And yeah, a lot of people like put a lot of emphasis on that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, like, you know, you got to do this, this, and that.
Yeah,
But also, I feel like it's what really works is just what works for you. At the
100%,
end of the day, right? Like, it's just, you know, you could take it from that instructor, and then they can give you that cheat sheet that you can follow, and then that's great.
Yeah.
It's gonna help you. At the end of the day, if it doesn't help you, and if you feel like you get lost and it just gets you in your head,
Yeah.
then that doesn't work for you. So like this is why
Exactly.
like I usually try to ask this question to see like, oh, okay, that's how he does it.
Yeah.
That's how she does it. Yeah.
yeah. No, I mean it's yeah. You know, it's there's different approaches to this thing. I think the more you do it too, like practice, right? Like it just becomes muscle memory.
Right.
You know, you start. I think now my process is sort of very instinctual and.
Right.
And it's not that I get it right all the time. You
Right.
know, there's lots of auditions even now I still struggle with where I'm like, I'm not understanding what I'm doing. It doesn't quite feel right and stuff.
Right. Interesting. Okay.
But then you just learn how to trust yourself, you know,
Right.
and you're like,
Yep.
and I typically will do like 2 or 3 takes, right? Like I'll do like multiple takes.
You'll send multiple takes, or you just do
I'll do multiple takes.
Okay.
Like, so I'll try a scene like 4 or 5 different ways.
Mhm.
And then if I feel like one take is incredibly different from the other, that's when I send the 2 takes.
Right.
If all of them are kind of in the same ballpark, I'm like, there's no point. I'll just pick
Yeah.
one and
pick
send
the
it.
best one. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't spend too much time on like script analysis. I would
Right.
say
Yeah.
the biggest thing for me is I'm like, okay, this is what my character wants.
Right. Yeah.
And
you let that drive the scene.
I let that drive the scene. And then I'm like, okay, if this is what I want, how do I persuade that person to give it to me? Right?
Yeah. The other.
So like I'll look through lines. I'll be like, okay, this is persuasion tactic number 1. This is persuasion tactic number 2.
Okay, so you really go into like each beat and each line
Not each line. I would say each sort of
section.
section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Section. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so let's say you do book the role. You do get the audition. You got it. You got pinned. You got shortlisted. Blah blah blah. You go through the thing. Screen. You get the role. Okay. Now what happens?
What happens in the sense of
Like I mean, so you got the role.
like my process you're talking about.
Your process. Yeah.
Oh,
now,
gotcha.
now you
Okay.
got it. You know, you
Yeah,
got the
yeah,
role.
Yeah.
What's the preparation that goes
Yeah.
into being on set?
Well, first it starts with a lot of holy shit. I'm an imposter. I don't know what I'm doing. Holy crap! They gave the
We got this,
They
yeah.
gave the role to the wrong person.
I can't do this. Oh my
I
gosh.
can't do this. So first it's like panic-inducing anxiety.
Interesting. Yeah, and that's for each role. That's like a
Yeah,
that's like,
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
given. Yeah.
It's so fascinating because you
That's
get the
amazing.
thing and then you're like, I'm a fraud, and I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but like that's the
Amazing.
first
No,
thing.
I mean, yeah, no, feelings mutual.
That's the first thing is like I'm a fraud. That I always feel like I scammed somebody. Like I always feel like I pulled one on somebody when I get the role.
That's the first one, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's,
bro, that's amazing.
it's fascinating because I don't know where that comes from, but
Yeah.
so it starts with that, I
Right.
would say, and then honestly, man, it's like a lot of it's just repetition.
Right.
It's like a really boring answer, but I just like read the script like 1,000 times.
Right,
I
but
just-
you don't do any extra work as far as like you don't try to like really like get into the skin of the character. Like you just
No, I don't really
you
do.
did the audition already. Like you're just sort of like build on what that was. I
Like
guess.
yeah, like I don't believe in the whole going method, you know,
Right.
stuff like that. I
Right,
think
right.
for me,
Mhm.
it's all about technique. You
Right.
know,
Mhm.
I don't often take stuff home with me. I don't necessarily believe in that. I believe in a healthy work-life balance.
Right.
So like so for me, it's just about technique. It's the script analysis. It's looking at the script.
Yeah.
I'll sometimes journal like character backstory, character,
Right.
you know, like, um,
Nice.
but I don't go too far back. I don't go to like he was born at this time and this. I don't do that stuff.
Right.
I just sort of go in the world of this thing.
Right.
Where does he start?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
And then I sort of go scene by scene. And again, I do the objective obstacle thing.
Yep.
I look at different tactics.
Yep.
And then the rest of it is just like this strange alchemy of me, again, walking around my living room, bashing my head against a wall, standing in the shower, thinking about it a lot, trying the scene multiple different ways in my head, reading it over and over and over and over and over and over again. And then sometimes even on the day, like I'll discover something new in between take 1 and take 4.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes you find it, you're like, oh, that's what the scene is about. Like I'll sometimes find it on the day.
On the spot, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Interesting.
The worst thing, and I think we all go through this as actors, is it's the bane of all our existence when it comes to this profession, is like the thing that happens is you finish shooting the thing.
Yeah.
And then you go home, and in the van ride home is when you're like,
right.
Oh my God! Why didn't I do that? I should have done that.
That's
instead.
what it was. Yeah,
that's what that scene was about. Like that, it always
It
happens.
happened to me so many times, bro.
That is like
So
literally
many
it's the
times.
worst. It's the worst thing.
Especially in auditions, I'm like, oh, why did I play it this way? Like that's what that was. That's what the slide meant. That's what it was. You know, and you played it like in a different way. It's like, oh.
Yeah, but that is. You know what that is? That is. Pedro Pascal said this on a roundtable, but he was just like, that is the price we pay for choosing the stupid industry. That is the cost. That is our suffering. We chose this upon ourselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
we brought it upon ourselves 100%.
Yeah.
So while we're in that realm still, so let's say you have like a very emotional scene. Okay. You have like a very emotionally heavy, full scene of like emotions, and I don't know, you're losing a parent, you're losing a brother or sister, whatever. So like, how does the preparation changes for that? Like, how do you get yourself? Because I've seen you act. You're very good, man. Like I saw you in like the play. Thanks, bro. You're just like, you're a very connected actor, but you're not in your head. You're really very present and very locked in. So how do you navigate these emotional shifts in the scene? Because sometimes the scene starts like, you're a party, man. And then next thing your brother dies.
Yeah.
15 seconds into the party, right? Like, it's not like you can like, always like, think of some like use a substitution and then you get yourself emotional because the scene doesn't always start like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, how does the preparation goes for that kind of scenes?
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I will say right off the bat, like I'm a crier.
Yeah.
Like I'm a very emotional person.
Yeah.
I'm a Leo, Pisces, Leo. And I'm not super into astrology, but from my guess, from what I've looked into and from what other friends have told me, is that like I my moon is in Pisces, which means that I'm a very
emotional,
sensitive human, sensitive, emotional boy.
Right.
Which is
good at this industry because you need that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's also really stressful and always crying at home. Yeah. But So I think emotional vulnerability has been something that I don't know. I think I get it from my mom, I guess. My mom's very sort of emotionally sensitive, and the one thing that I got from her.
You got from her.
I think, honestly. Because it's not like I practiced it or something growing up. I think I just I'm always on the verge of crying at all times.
Right.
I'm like an emotional live wire. So I sort of in me to always want to be crying.
Right. So you don't do any of that like substitution?
No. Like I do. Like it's so. I guess all I'm trying to say is like it comes more naturally to me than maybe some other people.
Right.
Just because it's sort of there within me.
Right.
But then there's also, but then as you said, like you might be starting off the day doing some party scene, and then after lunch you have to like do a full emotional scene.
Right.
And the way I typically do it is, I get very antisocial. Mm-hmm. So for me, like some actors are really skilled where they can sort of do it on command at the time. Right, I'm not one of those people.
Right.
So based on the call sheet,
you can't just like flip it. Yeah.
Yeah. Based on the call sheet, if I know, okay, we're doing this scene the day before, like I sort of know that scene is coming up. Mm-hmm. So what I'll do is like, I know that next day that I'll be sort of very antisocial. Like I don't like to talk to people in the sense of like trying to conserve my energy.
Right. You'll get in the zone, right?
I'm getting in the zone. I listen to a lot of sad music.
Right.
Listen, I think when you said substitution work, yes, but I think I do that in a sort of an informal way, and by that I mean I just listen to a lot of sad music and think about a lot of sad things.
Same, yeah. That's usually what works for me.
Yeah.
And sometimes like I heard like people say like something I do sometimes too. It's just like sometimes like voicing something out. There's like like saying it out loud. It just sometimes triggers me.
It triggers like the
Something about
the
saying
heart
the
muscle.
stuff out loud. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, the gut. There's like the
something about saying
diaphragm
it out loud.
muscle.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
I'll just like go into the woods or the forest or like away from people and just like let out one giant scream or something. You know.
Right. Yeah.
I've heard of some actors like asking their co-star to like slap them.
What?
Just to like slap them really hard
Jesus.
with consent.
Heard of that one before.
Just to like trigger.
Right. Trigger them. Yeah.
Trigger them
Get
and
to,
stuff.
like, yeah.
That's not me. I would never do that. I don't think. I'm
Right,
thinking I'd be
yeah.
too scared. But
Yeah.
so yeah, it's again like I sort of yeah.
If one of your co-stars asks you to slap them, would you slap them?
If they consent to it, and
not
we
a
start,
lot.
you know what? I would only do it if I like know them well. Like I don't think I would do it to somebody new. It's actually funny. You know, I was just doing Romeo and Juliet this summer, and
Would you slap Juliet?
well, no, Juliet slapped me. So what would happen
Right,
is
yeah.
amongst our cast, like you know, when you do a theater, you're doing like 8 shows a week.
Right.
So it's heavy. It gets really exhausting in your body.
Of course. Yeah.
And so towards the end of the week, like we get very tired.
100%. Yeah.
And so some days you show up an hour before the call time and you're like,
yeah.
bro, like you're talking to your castmates, you're like, I don't know how I'm gonna do the show in like an hour. I have no idea. Like I don't have any energy.
Right.
And sometimes one of the castmates would be like, you know, they'd be like, hey, can I slap you? And I'd be like, what? And like, yeah. I do this. I slap people and it works all the time. I'm like, great. And then so it became like an inside joke where they would slap me. And so I would like wake up instantly, you know?
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, but promotional scenes, I sort of do that stuff, I would say. Like
Right.
a lot of that. I think about stuff like that and then
Right.
I
So you use like music, just think about like some sad stuff.
yeah, I do mind some of my own trauma sometimes. It's
Right,
probably not healthy.
Right.
It's
I mean, this
definitely
whole-
not healthy, actually.
100%. 100%. I mean, it's like.
But how
again,
do you not? No, I don't know. I feel like
I mean, it's a tricky area, obviously, because like it's just like one thing works for someone but doesn't work for the other. I've heard like breathing.
yeah.
You know, some.
I think sometimes like there's like this weird like this breathing technique with the
hyperventilation,
diaphragm sometimes.
Right.
That
I mean,
works
I tried
too.
that one. Doesn't quite work for me sometimes. What
yeah.
really works for me is just like voicing it out.
Yeah.
Like just saying it out loud. There's something about saying the words that just triggers it.
Yeah.
And obviously like sad music, sad moments, just kind of like a combination of that.
Yeah.
Because like substitution, I mean, yes, it can work, but also, I mean,
It's hit or miss. It depends on the
it's
day.
really hit or miss, bro.
Yeah.
You know
It
what I'm
depends on
saying?
the day.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And also, by the way, there's some days where I can't either. There's some days where I just suck and I can't.
You just can't get there.
I just can't get there.
Yeah,
And that's
doesn't-
okay too.
yeah,
That's okay too. Like I do want to dispel a myth that like
Yeah.
all great actors just have it all the time. That's not true. It just
Right.
it also depends on your emotional state of the day.
Right.
You know, and
That's
I
totally-
think so there are some days where I just don't have it, you know.
Right, right.
But like
So have you had like some let's say, have you been on a play where you doing an emotional scene and one of the days you just weren't
Yeah.
there?
one of the days I
You weren't able to get there.
yeah, all the time. It happens all the time.
You're
Even
over
on film, it happened on season 3 of the show that I'm on. Like I wasn't able to get there emotionally for one of the scenes.
Right.
But then we just talked. I just talked to the director, and we were just like, okay, let's just pivot. You don't have to cry in the scene. Let's just do what feels authentic and natural. Like, what do you think the character would do in this moment?
Right.
You know, and not everything has to be crying. You know,
As long as you're like
Playing the
living
truth.
truthfully, as long as you're playing truthfully, that's all that matters.
all that matters. And also, I would say that like, what's actually interesting
Yeah.
about any emotional scene, really.
Right.
And it's funny. An acting coach was the one that actually
Yeah.
cemented.
We're trying
that
not
to
to cry all the time.
That's the thing.
Yes.
Right.
That's the
Sometimes I
thing,
think
of
people
course.
get really obsessed with this. Including me,
Crying.
I used to be this person too, where I
Yeah.
would get really obsessed with this. I gotta cry for this thing.
yeah.
But it's actually what's more interesting actually
When
is
you try
trying not to.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
Because that's how we are like in real life. Like when we cry, it's because we're fighting the tears.
Exactly.
We're trying not to, but it's so overwhelming that we
Exactly.
can't help ourselves.
Yeah.
That it does it.
Exactly.
So you're right.
Yeah.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Amazing.
But I do have to like I can't talk to people. I don't know how some people do it, man. Some actors can just like be like social on
Right.
emotional scene days.
Yeah.
And I just can't. I have to be
But sometimes I'd like to pull someone up, like a friend of mine, and be like, hey, like, do you want just all you have to do is listen to me.
Yeah.
And let me fucking
Yeah.
ramble or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes it just gets me there. Not all the time.
I do because I'm just nervous. Like I'm just nervous.
Yeah, of course.
Because if people are talking to me, then I get nervous that I won't be able to perform later in the day.
Right.
So just to protect that,
Just that thought alone.
just the thought alone, like if I'm too
Yeah.
casual and laughing, because the thing is,
Yeah.
people want to laugh.
Right.
People want to have a good time.
Of course, yeah.
Because you want to have a good atmosphere on set.
Yeah.
But then the inherent nature of having a good time is that like I'm too
It
happy.
goes against the actual.
I'm too happy, so I
Yeah.
have to be like, you know.
Yeah.
But now I've started communicating that to people. So that people I'm like
People know,
so
yeah.
that people know that I'm not being a dick or something. Like I tell people now, like hair and makeup. I'll tell everybody. I'll be like, hey, listen, I'm not gonna talk today. That's okay.
Right. Let's hope I'm not sending you off to those lines right now, and then you have like an emotional one.
Yeah.
We just like laughed so hard on that one.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, let's just conclude with that one because I know it's been quite the episode.
No, yeah. Whenever you want to finish off, you let me know.
No. I mean, I do want you. I want to send you off for some lines, right? So it's important. Okay, so let me just look at my quickly here because I mean we did also answer a lot of the questions that I had.
It was sort of because we can't sort of free flow. Yeah.
Just yeah. So
no, get what you need. Get whatever you need, and
so this is a very important. I really want to get into this because that's something I also sometimes people like they DM me and like, hey, like what about that? So what was like the pivoting moment in your career, like where you thought like, because like I mean obviously you started booking at some point and before that you weren't, right? Like you like you know you went for like these 5-liners, 1-liners every now and then you know you guys aimed high, but I mean obviously you probably like faced a lot of rejections. You probably didn't see results until at some point. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, was it October?
October Faction was the first.
Faction, right?
Yeah. First.
So I guess like what changed? Like what happened in your mind that made you like book more? Did you change something in your routine? Like what moment made you realize that you just started booking? Like what happened?
Nothing. I wish I had like some magical thing.
You didn't think like a magic
it's
pill?
It's so anticlimactic, but literally zero has changed, even to this day.
It just happens?
It's the universe just decided to smile on me for certain roles.
Wow.
Right? Like honestly,
you didn't change your work ethics or anything.
I didn't change my technique or work ethic or anything like that. The only thing I would say is naturally the more you do it, the better you get. Right. So like I'm sure my tapes now are much better than they used to be.
Right. Yeah.
You know, because you always get better as an actor over time.
Yeah.
I'm always in class. I'm always training. Right.
All the time?
All the time.
Nice.
And so
where are you training right now?
Where am I training now? I was doing stuff at Deb Podowski, and then I was training at
Deb's?
Here at Deb's, and then I was at
in the scene study class. Were you?
I was at scene study class.
Okay.
I haven't been in the past few months because I was in Toronto, so I was doing stuff at Armstrong Acting Studios in Toronto.
Right. Nice.
And then I do like Zoom. I do like a lot of private coaching with my acting coaches. I have one in Toronto, one in Vancouver,
nice,
and one in LA as well.
Nice. So you're always like training at all times, right?
Training. I do like random acting classes in London, UK on Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll register for like voiceover classes in New York on Zoom.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Because I don't believe in that like it's a finished product. I think acting is always a muscle. It's like working out, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a muscle, and so I keep training.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only thing that changed over time is just I might have gotten better as an actor, maybe, sure.
Right.
But I actually get more rejections now than I did before.
Oh.
Right? Like I get rejected. I audition less frequently than I used to before. I get rejected more than I used to before, but I'm actually a better actor now.
Because you aiming higher also, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm auditioning for recurring roles and above only these days.
Right, so you take making less at this point.
Yeah, more leading roles, I would say.
Yeah.
So my competition's stiffer, for sure. So that's why there's more rejection.
Right.
And then I would say that, like my competition now is like, I even hate using the word competition. It's not really competition, but like, I would say the people that I'm up against for certain roles have like 2.3 million followers, or it's like Dev Patel.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like,
it's unfortunately it's like a thing where like they do look at your social media.
They do.
They do.
Yeah. And you know, my mom didn't take me to auditions when I was 13 years old, like Dev Patel's mom did. You know.
Right.
You know, I wasn't born and raised in London like he was. You know, London's a big ecosystem. It's a huge market for actors, right?
Right.
So that's another thing too I was going to bring up is geographic lottery plays a huge role in people's successes too, right?
Right.
Whether you're born and raised in New York, LA, or you grew up in Kuwait and move here, you know, you never know.
Yep.
Yeah. But I would say, to answer your question, I think that's the problem, right? Is like, I wish there was some magic pill. I wish there was a magic realization. I wish I could bottle up that answer and tell people so that more people could book things, right? But the truth of the matter is there is nothing magical like that. Like, I just think that I just got lucky. Like,
really, yeah.
That's it, right? Like, like I think this industry is filled with incredible actors.
Literally, yeah.
It's filled with, everybody works harder. Everybody's a great actor.
Yeah.
I'm not special. Nobody's special.
Right.
Like, everybody's great.
Right.
the difference between the working actor and the difference between the great working actor and the great non-working actor is God.
Really?
Like, what's the difference? Right? The great non-working actor is just as good as the great working actor. Just as good.
Right.
In many cases, better.
Right.
Why are they not working?
Yeah. I mean, it's just like that's
luck, timing.
That's the $1 million question that we all want. Right? Like, it's like luck, timing. It's just not. It's a timing thing, right? Like, it's just
type of role. You might be too tall. You might be too short. Your eye color isn't matched with
things.
There's so many
very often you will never know what it is.
You'll never know what it is. It's never personal most of the time because I've also I produce a lot too.
Right.
And so as a producer, I say produce a lot like I've done a lot. No, I produce mainly short form stuff. But like even in that, but even in that, even in the production stuff that I do, when I have cast other people, I realize how impersonal it is. Right.
Exactly.
There's a lot of great people. It's just sometimes you're like, oh, this person just fits this vision a bit better.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. I don't know. I don't think there's any, but I do believe in like to maximize your chances though.
You got to keep working and stay in class and stuff like that. Right?
Sure, but I would say like classes, sure. Like, but the classes are also expensive. Like,
you can't afford them. It's rough.
It sucks, right?
Yeah.
So this whole myth again, it's just like just because you go to class doesn't mean you have a higher rate of booking. That's either, true. You know?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of money, and classes also is for the privileged because the people that have higher income or come from generational wealth or have savings get to go to classes, right?
Yeah.
I would say it's more about actually.
Yeah. So I have my take on this, and you let me know what you think.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, I mean, that works for me, and I think what I realized. I think like, and again, you might agree with this. I think what really works, and I think and it's easier said than done. Okay, it's easier said than done, but you have to get to a stage where you no longer care about this, because like as you said, when you don't care about an audition, when you don't give a crap, when you're like, hey, there's no way I'm gonna get this, someone else will get it. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna have fun and fucking leave.
Yeah.
And like once you get like once you program yourself to think that way, and you go into every audition thinking this way. You're fine because you're not desperate, like to book this. As you said, like, cause you came with a lot of like, you came with some savings. Yeah. So, like, it's not like you were desperate because like it shows, man. Yeah. It shows sometimes when you audition and like you're doing this and like in your acting, it shows like how desperate and how much you want this, and you can't hide it, right? Like it's just like it shows. So, I mean, there's a reason why I'm starting my businesses and like doing that and that because I love acting, but it's not the only thing I love. Yeah. Because I'm also like very well aware that like. It might happen, it might not happen, right? So like the faster I stop caring about this, the more likely I'm going to see results because that's when I'm free. That's when I'm not in my head. That's when I'm playing. That's when I'm having fun. Yeah. It's when I don't care. Yeah. Right. And that only happens when you. Also, I mean, you gotta live life. You gotta go through shit, right? You can't like really, like draw from if you're doing like a character and then like the character is like I don't know like drug addict. Right, like if you have not like I'm not saying like go do drugs.
No.
It's just, but I mean like if
everybody do drugs, that is the way. That's how you change this.
That's how you.
That's the magic pill. There we go. We figured it out. We solved it.
There we go. Solve. Moving on. No, but I mean like you gotta live life, right? Like you gotta go through shit. Like like you worked at Best Buy, and like if you're playing like a character where this guy's his day-to-day job is working at Best Buy, it might come easy to you because you did that, right? So. Yeah. It's just like the more like I feel like it's a combination of like living life and like just like going on trips, traveling, having fun, like doing whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's so important.
I agree.
To not like stay like it's just like so like
don't make your life only one basket, right? Like don't put all the eggs in one basket.
Do like live life. Like go through shit.
I fully agree. And
then like honestly, just like go in the room. I mean, not in the room. Like just do the tape because we no longer go in the room. But like just like. Try to go into like in a mindset where you no longer care. I know it's hard to like
easier said than done. Yeah.
But like it's just like I don't know, man. Like it's like one like because my best audition tapes are the ones where I didn't care, and all the like honestly like all the ones that I booked, I just like I never thought I booked them. Yeah. If anything, I thought the tape was bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was
same.
Good.
The ones that I booked were always the ones that I never thought I did good.
I was like, wait, you like that? Like, did we watch the same thing? Like,
no, but that is always the case. That's always the case.
So yeah, what do you think?
No, I fully agree, and I would say a big part of Yeah, like I fully agree, but I would also say that the big part of this too is, like you just said, you have other life interests,
Right.
And so what happens is, even for me, like, I don't make booking film and TV my be all end all, right?
Right.
Most of my life, 85% of my life, 90% of my life actually, is fulfilled doing other things. So I do a lot of theater.
So 10% is the acting only, right? So like people don't see like what's behind the.
But even the other stuff, it's still acting and producing related, but I'm creating my own work a lot of the time.
Right.
I'm spending most of my energy. People use the word networking a lot.
Right.
But I don't call it networking because I also suck at networking. I don't know how to do network. But what I do enjoy doing is meeting people like yourself, like other filmmakers, other people that are in that are sort of lateral to me, right? That we're all trying to grow together.
Right.
Like I spend a large chunk of my time meeting filmmakers, meeting other actors, meeting other creators, creating stuff with them.
Yep.
Doing theater, you know, having a fulfilling artistic life outside of the film and TV business,
Right.
Because that is also possible.
Absolutely.
And then also the people that we collaborate with on our level are going to be tomorrow's Chris Nolans, are going to be tomorrow's, you know, Chloe Zhao's.
Yep.
And so I spend actually a lot of my time creating my own work and finding like-minded creators to create stuff with.
Right.
And some of the things that I've been cast in came as a result, not because of my audition. It came because 3 years ago I did a short film with them.
Wow.
Yeah, and then
they remembered you.
And then 3 years later, because they were doing a feature, they remembered me, right?
Yeah.
Because I spent time getting to know them.
Yeah.
And making stuff with them, right?
You just never know how it's gonna play out.
Yeah. So, and then because you're so busy doing all this other stuff,
right?
You don't have time sometimes to care about this stuff, and that's when
when you're free.
When you're free, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Because like it's so, you know, I was also gonna touch on that. Like it's just, I mean, the number one reason why people sometimes have a hard time in the tape is because they're in their head, and you can tell when someone is in their head, they're not in the moment, they're not listening. Like how many times like you've probably got that.
Yeah.
Maybe in your.
And by the way, like that's it's a lot of my tapes. A lot of my tapes are like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I get more no's than yeses all the time. So,
yeah. Yeah. And it still happens. Like I mean, as I said, like we're not. It's never the finished product. It's always like work in progress.
Exactly.
So that's my take on that. I feel like that's kind of what works for me. But again, I mean, everyone has like a different, you know, experience, different take on that. It's
yeah. The way I described it to some people is I call it the bonus vacation bucket.
Right.
You know how sometimes you get those spam calls and it's like, oh, you just want a cruise.
Yeah.
Or you want to, you want a cruise to da-da-da, or you want a Disney cruise.
There's no way.
There's no way.
Yeah.
But sometimes you win the thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's like a lottery, right?
Right.
And so the way I look at it is the auditioning,
right?
The creating stuff with your collaborators,
right?
Doing theater, whatever, living an artistic life outside of it is actually, and auditioning is the actual job, right?
Right.
And then anytime I get a call saying that I booked it, I treat it. It's not real life to me.
Right.
To me, that is like, it's like, oh, I want a cruise. I want a bonus vacation.
Wow, it's like a surreal moment.
Right. And so I treat me being on set and filming as not my real life.
Right.
I treat it like a cruise.
Interesting.
It's like I treat it like a cruise vacation, right? It's like an all-inclusive resort that I won. I just won like a trip to it.
Right. You want one, yeah.
It's like, so the way, that's how my brain compartmentalizes it.
Right.
So that's why I don't spend most of my time thinking. It depends on what the role is, of course.
Right.
But I don't spend too much of my time. I used to be much worse at this, but now I've gotten better at this. Where I don't think about, once I finish auditioning, I don't think about it anymore.
Set it and forget it.
Because I'm like, that's not my real life.
Yeah.
Because that's not actually real life. It's not. It's make believe land.
Right.
It's not actual life.
I think like another way to maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, another way to put this into perspective, it's like you buy like a lottery ticket, and then you don't you punch it in and you leave, you know what I mean?
But the job is just punching it in.
Right. Yeah.
The job as an actor.
Yeah.
Your actual job, which is unpaid, by the way.
Right.
Is to keep punching in the tickets.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when you actually get onto set, that is the lottery. It's not the actual job, right?
Right.
And so, and how often do you actually get a bonus vacation, or how often do you win the lottery?
Right.
Never.
Right.
So it's like you can't actually, once you finish an audition, there's no point obsessing over it because it's the lottery.
Yeah.
And which is why it's important to have a fulfilling life outside of it, right?
100%.
But
that fuels your performance.
Yeah, and also, but then the question then that begs the question, like, why would you spend your life doing this then, right? Because from the outside perspective, they're like, so you're just gonna live your life based on chance, because that's what it is, right?
Right.
So you're just gonna live your life based on chance and hope that chance affords you to pay your rent,
right?
Like, that's insane.
That's insane. Yeah, that's crazy.
But it is.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's insane. Like, I mean, the whole industry is insane.
None of us are rational humans.
Right. I mean, like most people that are in this industry, they're very well aware of that, like, this might not happen for them, and that they're still doing it.
They're still doing
it. You
have to obviously love it a lot.
Yeah. Because this is not the. If you expect to be rewarded, this is not the industry.
Don't enter this. Leave. Right. Leave right away.
This is probably one of the few industries where you don't get rewarded for your efforts.
You don't. And
you just don't.
The glamour that you see is only the 1%.
As much as it sucks to hear, it's just how it works.
Well, the glamour that you see is the 1%.
Yeah.
Right. 100%. It's not the norm. Right. And so, which is why, and to bring it back to the beginning of the podcast when we were talking about this, like, that's you need some delusion. You need a little delulu. You need
to be a bit crazy.
You need to be a bit crazy to be doing this, honestly, because it's not actually a rational.
This is not the job where, like, career. You can trade like time for money. Like, it's not. You might. Some people, like, might spend their entire life and they have like a booking or two, and they're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, exactly.
I made it.
Exactly.
Like, I booked.
Exactly.
And that's fine. That's great. That's Yeah. And they're happy with that. They're living a very fulfilling life. They're smiling. They're living the dream. And so, I mean, like, it's not the industry that is going to reward you. No. It might. Yeah. It might. It might. But again, you can't, like, go into that, like, expecting that it might happen. You gotta, like, this is why I treat it as a hobby, man. This is why like I told you in the beginning that I'm not doing this for money.
No.
Like, I'm doing a bunch of things where I'm getting money from without really like trading all my time. Yeah. So, like, I have enough time to focus on this. So now I can, like, this is basically just like going to the gym for me. I was like, oh, great. It's like I'm going in a strengthening competition or some shit.
Yeah, and listen, I'd be lying if I said to you that this mindset, I've always had this mindset. No.
Right.
Like, I still go through those ups and downs. I still have a lot of self-doubt.
Yeah.
I still...
Yeah. I still send shitty takes sometimes, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, all the time. And I also and I still put a lot of emphasis on it as my only way to make money or something, because like I'm like this is my whole identity, and if I'm not this, then what am I?
Right.
I struggle with self-worth.
That works for you.
But I struggle with self-worth all the time. I struggle with my place in the industry all the time. I obsess. I spiral.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here and saying these things as if like I'm a fully formed, metahuman or something. But I haven't. Like, I also have good days and bad days like everybody else.
100%. Yeah. You're human at the end of the day. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. And I wish, because I listen to this podcast. I listen to many other podcasts about acting and all this stuff. And I also want them to answer and give me the answer of, like, what is the solution? What is the magic?
Right.
And it's the truth is, the anticlimactic truth to all of this is there isn't one.
Right. Yeah.
But if you really love it,
yeah,
and you're in it for the right reasons, you'll find a way, not because you're gonna suddenly make a bunch of money doing it, but because you'll naturally start to surround yourself with people that are just as passionate about it as you.
Yep.
And then you just start to live a really fulfilling life because of it.
Yep.
Right.
That brings the joy.
That brings the joy. That brings the joy and the fulfillment, money or not. Most of us have side gigs anyways, regardless.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, if you act, you can call yourself an actor.
Yeah.
Right. So, ultimately, I think that's what it comes down to. It's not necessarily about, you have to be really doing it because you enjoy doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And, unfortunately, you can't plan out timelines. Yeah, you can vision board, you can manifest, you can do all those things.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the industry doesn't work according to
a
linear prescribed timeline, right? It's
100%.
So
said it so well. What's the end dream here? Like, what's the end goal? What's the finish line? We're just gonna conclude with that.
My vision board, I would say, is
like Like, do you plan on going to LA and like try to get
like
with, like CAA, WME, or like all that?
Yeah, all that.
jazz,
Yeah, but that's boring. That's all. like, no, of course, all those things are
if it,
all those things will happen. And in fact, there's some meetings that have, I've sort of there's something that might be happening like that.
Right.
But that's every person's answer. Whatever. Like I think to me,
yeah.
Like, also sometimes the CAA WME part of it all, I'm just like, cool. Like I get signed by one of them, great. But then you're also the 700th actor on a roster of 700 people.
Right.
What use is that really?
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like, don't get me wrong, CAA and WME are great agencies.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like, they're gonna cater to their top 15 people. Like, I mean, like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Like, sure, that's part of that stuff. That's part of the goals. I would say my bigger picture vision board is whatever it is, I want to ensure that I have I personally have a hand in the IP that I create. So what that means is like I want to be the lead actor in something, but I also want to be able to create it, and I also want to be able to direct episodes of it.
Right.
You know,
that's amazing.
Like Jason Bateman.
Yep.
He did Ozark.
Yep.
So he was the lead actor of Ozark, but then he also directed a bunch of episodes on it.
Yep. That's a pattern we see a lot too, like amongst like TV show lead actors. Where,
exactly.
After certain seasons of being like a lead on the show, they jump behind the camera and they start directing
or have a hand as an executive producer, as a creative.
Exactly.
Right? Have a hand in, like, Diego Luna.
Yep.
Did that with Andor. Right.
Yep.
He didn't write all the episodes.
Nope.
But like he didn't direct, but he certainly had an executive producer credit.
Yeah.
And he had a hand along with Tony Gilroy in actually creating the show. And so if I ever get to be in Diego Luna's position, I would love to do that. Like, I want to be the lead actor of the show, and I also want to have a hand in creating it.
Right. Right.
I don't really think about awards. I don't think about agencies. I don't think about any of that stuff, honestly.
Right.
I don't ever never think about any of those things.
Interesting.
I think for me, if I just get to
you're doing pretty well. Like, it's not like you're lacking. Like, it's
But honestly, even if I wasn't doing well,
right?
Like,
I'm
insane. I'm just a crazy person. So
right.
I shouldn't say that. Let's cut that out. But I'm a bit delulu, right? And so for me, I don't think about any of this stuff because I just want to do that. Like, if you just gave me the permission to do what Diego Luna is doing on Andor,
I'll take it.
I don't want to win any war. I don't care. I just pay me to just like be acting in a show, and pay me to also have some say in the creative of the show.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'm happy.
Right.
And I'll die happy. Like, I don't like.
Incredible.
The other stuff will come and go. But
secondary. Yeah. 100%.
Sorry, it's such a long answer to a very simple question.
No, it's great. It's a great answer. It's like but that's the bare minimum I was expecting, if anything. Dude, such an honor to have you.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
I know we've been trying to make this work for a while, so I'm glad that
I'm so happy
we're able
to be here.
to get together.
Yeah, thank you.
Honestly, like, it was a phenomenal episode. Like, I'm sure like a lot of people who are watching right now gonna be learning a lot. I also got to know you a lot better too, like on a more deeper level. I feel like
exactly.
It's something I keep telling to my guests too, like where I'm like, I've known you.
You think you know people, but then you don't really fully.
I was like, oh damn, I feel like I've known you like this past hour. Like, I feel like I've known you more than the last 4 years or 5 years.
So we know this is not fake then. We're definitely not faking this.
We're not faking it. It's like it's all in the moment, of course.
Yeah.
And
I appreciate you bringing me on.
Of course. No, I mean, also I just want to end with that, but like, I started this podcast back in December just because, like, I mean, there's barely anything happening in the city since COVID. Like, we don't go in the room. There's very like few like gatherings, like as far as like like film festivals and stuff like that. Yes, we have them, but like, I mean, we lack theater. It's not like, this is not Broadway, like where it's like, you know what I mean. And I just thought, like, I want to give a voice to the community where, like, for people to come and talk, share their experience, inspire other actors, and this is why it's called Breakthrough. Right, because we very often associate breakthrough with something very big in our career. Yeah, like a huge swing, like a huge role, and it's fine. It is, but it doesn't have to be that. Right, a breakthrough can be something as small as just waking up in the morning.
Most of the time, it's just a series of little breakthroughs.
Right, like it's just like small little increments that lead to something bigger.
Yeah,
right. Like, so Yeah, I mean, that's why I started this, and that's why I have love having people like.
And can I say something really quickly about the theater thing?
Of course.
I do want to dispel another myth, which is that there's no theater in the city.
There is. It's just there can be more.
There can be more, and I think, but it's not. But it's not even you saying this. It's actually a general thing.
It's a fact. Yeah, it seems like it's a stereotype, maybe. Yeah.
There's Broadway,
right?
But I've seen a lot of shitty theater on Broadway. I've seen a lot of shitty theater in the West End.
Right.
I've seen a lot of shitty theater in Vancouver. I've seen a lot of shitty theater in Toronto. I've seen a lot of shitty theater in LA.
Yeah. That's everywhere. Yeah.
There's good and bad in every city.
Right.
Vancouver has some of the best theater actors in the world.
Wow.
In the world.
Yeah.
Toronto has some of the best theater actors in the entire world.
Wow.
Some of the full-time theater actors that don't ever do film and TV in the city.
Right.
They can act circles around some of the film and TV actors in the city.
Wow.
They are brilliant.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
Why they're not booking film and TV, why they choose not to do it, I can't speak for them.
Yeah.
But
could be choice.
But I sometimes have seen this attitude from film and TV people, particularly in this city, where they get very arrogant and they think they're hot shit.
Right.
And they look at theater actors as less than.
Yeah.
Especially in this city, just because they think, oh, you're not on Broadway, therefore you are
lesser of a. Yeah. That's bullshit. That's all bullshit, bro.
Those theater actors,
I think they're probably maybe better
than you.
Yeah.
They're actually better.
Yeah.
And I'm even saying this out loud. They are better.
Yeah. A fact.
They're just choosing not to do film and TV.
Yeah.
Because if the moment they started auditioning for film and TV, they would book every single role, right?
Yeah.
So, this notion that like there's only theater in New York, and that is the best of the best in the world. Is just it's just not true.
Yeah.
Not everybody can afford to live in New York City.
I agree. That's
some people have kids. Some people have a family. Some people have to take care of their dead dad. Just because they're not in New York or London, England, doesn't mean that they're a failure. Doesn't mean that they, can't act on New York, can't act on London stages.
Absolutely.
Right. Geographic lottery.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
So anyway, sorry, that was my little my rant.
Absolutely,
you
never know what's going in someone's life, and just because they're not on Broadway, they're not in New York, doesn't mean that they're lesser of an actor.
Yeah,
or like
but this is a plea to film and TV actors in this city. I will say, if you call yourself an actor, don't look down on theater.
100%.
There's a ton of theater opportunities in the city.
Yeah.
I hear from so many actors that complain, "Oh, dude, I'm not working enough. I'm not acting enough." And I'm like, "What's stopping you from auditioning for theater?"
If anything, I'm actually trying to get into it myself.
Like,
Recently I realized, like, through watching you, as a matter of fact, that actually inspired me. I was like, wait, this is actually really fun.
It doesn't pay as much as like being bartending or wait staff or anything like that. So I get it. Like, in fact, people's full-time and part-time jobs pay more.
Right.
So I'm not saying you do it for the money,
100%.
because But I would say, like, if you want to act, if you want to act, and if you want to get paid to act, it's a great way to meet people. It's a great way to actually do something that you can invite casting directors to.
100%.
You know, it's better than self-taping and going nowhere, right?
Literally, yeah.
You might as well, because then people actually see you carry a show from start to finish. They actually see you in the element.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
It's an entirely different skill set. Just because you're a great theater actor doesn't mean you'll suddenly be amazing on film either.
Right.
You know, they are separate skill sets.
100%.
But I just think it's better than just sitting and complaining.
I agree.
Right? It's better. Anyways,
100%.
I just think there's a way to. There's a lot of, I hear so much complaining all the time. And sometimes I wonder, I'm like, what are you actually doing?
So much to do. I mean, there's so much things to do. I mean, even like, it could be anything. I mean, even like improv. Like I've taken some improv like a couple of years ago and I'm like, damn, I really like
improv.
This. Like improv, theater, musicals, you name it, voice.
There's always so much to do. I think that's a great way to, what you put it was perfect.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, and even like sometimes I hear like, that's something I get all the time. It's just like, acting is so expensive. I can't do acting. I can't be classes. And it's fair.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, classes are very expensive.
Very expensive,
But there's so many ways you can get involved for free.
Yeah.
Like community theater. Yeah. Like, you know, there's that.
Auditioning's free.
Auditioning's free. Yeah. I mean, like nothing's stopping you from like calling someone up and be like, hey, let's put a scene together. Yeah. Let's hold like a mini monologue show or some shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's so many things you can put together that doesn't require you to actually spend money and go train. Because anything you do, as long as it's like, you know, true to the craft, and you know you're keeping yourself you know, you're working on that muscle, like that counts.
And by the way, I want to make it very clear that the people that we're talking about are not the single moms, not the people
100%.
that have to do like 3 part-time jobs to support
100%
an expensive city. Those people are completely out of the equation. I'm talking about the people that have the money
Yep.
that just sit on their ass and then complain.
I agree. Yeah. The complaining ones. Yeah.
And then they get toxic about you booking work.
Yep.
Because
they're not booking.
Feels like I'm speaking on a personal story, but there's a lot of people. There's some people in my life that like will get jealous or envious of people booking work.
Of course, yeah.
And then complain and get sad that they're not getting enough, which is valid. But then I ask them like, what are you
doing about it?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And often the answer is, oh, I'm just auditioning. I'm self-taping. But we all are.
Yeah. Like, you're not doing something different that I'm doing.
Exactly.
Like, it's just,
But you love acting, right? And they'll say yes. Okay, cool. So you love acting. Do you love it? They say yes. I'm like, okay. So I see lots of opportunities to act.
Right. Last I checked, like, it's not like you can just do film and TV. There's other things you can do.
Why?
Yeah.
And then I get sort of like but it doesn't really pay that much. I'm just like,
so you're not doing this for the acting. You're doing this for the money.
yeah. Because I'm like, okay, but if you're thinking about pay, then this is not go to Wall Street. Like, I don't know. Like, you could literally work as an investment banker. You could do anything else.
Literally, yeah.
You don't. This is the worst way to make money, actually.
Yeah. If anything, it's the word, like, literally the last. Yeah, I would suggest.
You did engineering. You know what entropy is.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And
I forgot briefly what it was.
Yeah, but like,
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Entropy for me, I believe in entropy, right? Like, I believe in just doing something and just getting it started.
I 100%
because whatever that momentum is, just the universe. My fundamental belief is the universe just rewards momentum.
Right. 100%.
Like, it rewards momentum in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be anything.
Yeah.
Just
saying, like, doesn't mean like you do something and then you're gonna get booking. Like, sometimes
no,
you might not get
no, not
like,
at all.
Yes, you will experience some sort of like satisfaction at some point in your life, whether that's through booking, through like booking, getting an agent,
or meeting people
that changes your career.
Exactly.
And
right.
So.
It's better than it's better being out and interacting with the world is better than, doing your self tape in your room and then going to bed. You know what I mean?
Yep, 100%.
Like,
yeah,
literally. Anyway, sorry, this became really philosophical.
No, that's a great way to end it, bro. So again, thank you so much for coming,
Thanks, man.
Really appreciate it. We'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, you guys know the drill. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check us out, blah, blah, blah. But we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.